Well, good day to you. Myself, Tim Hutchings, with you now, along with Chris Dennis for the next 3 hours plus here on Eurosport for this third day's evening session. There's a great deal coming up. 9 finals, no less, 5 in the field, 4 in the track from the O2 Arena in Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. Super stadium, it really is. Capacity of some 16,000 at its absolute chock-a-block. Biggest format. I don't think it's in quite that same format for this weekend, Chris, but we had some great action this morning already with some very good races from the Brits after Katarina Johnson-Thompson's gold last night in the pentathlon. Probably inspired the team.
Yes, they did, and we're going to be continuing the multi-eventers with the heptathlon later today. Let's just bring you up to date with what's going to go on in this evening session. The programme of events coming up as follows. As Tim said, we've got 9 gold medals up for grabs, 5 in the field, 4 on the track, and that's the programme as it looks for the next 3 hours or so.
Yeah, right. Good chances of medals in those men's and women's 3,000 metre finals in particular for Great Britain. We also have the European #1 in the women's 400 metres, although Bundy Davies has got a difficult lane in that women's 400 metres final if you're a British team follower. Out in the field, the medal chances for Great Britain slightly thinner on the ground, I have to say, and that's putting it mildly. But nonetheless, there will be fabulous competition, all of those, with world record holder Renaud Lavillenie going in that men's pole vault contest, which is at 5 o'clock local time in Prague, 4 o'clock in the UK. And I'm sure, just as last night, there will be a very good crowd in the arena. The Czechs love their athletics. They've got a good chance of a couple more medals. They took 2 or 3 medals, I think, last night in their second day session. Yeah,
3 in total. Pavel Mazlak, of course, the poster boy, goes later on in the 400 metres final. Without tempting fate, surely a red-hot favourite, if not nailed on to win that one.
Well, let's take a look at some of the best action that came this morning. The men's 60-metre first round heats. Richard Kilty winning his heat, the world indoor champion, third from left there in the blue tights for Great Britain, winning his heat very convincingly indeed, 6.57, very close to his season's best of 6.54. When he won the world title last year, 6.49 was enough. But that from Kilty was a confidence booster, and he progresses through to tomorrow's semi-finals with no trouble at all. So does his teammate Chijindu Uja. They're winning as well in full tights for the Great Britain team. The man who went under 10 seconds last year for 100 metres in the outdoor season. 6.57 for him too, exactly the same time.
Then it was the turn of the multi-eventers, starting with the 60 metres. St Nicholas on the far side there being pipped by Artur Abele in 6.93. He took an early lead, and a terrific performance by the German, who came ahead just ahead of St Nicholas. And then in the long jump, we saw Shkarenkov there, the Russian, with 7.78, a huge personal best for him. And
well, Daphne Skipper's a double champion outdoors, over 100 200 last year in the Europeans, winning this morning very impressively too. Skipper's going through there and taking her heat most impressively in 7.07.
Dina Asher-Smith, the real red-hot favourite from Great Britain, on the far side, following up with victory in the 4th heat in 7.10. Again, a personal best for her. And that was matched by the German, Verena Seiler, very much the experienced German, winning in exactly the same time. So that 60 metres for women flat, shaping up. Still got the semi-finals, of course, to come on Sunday afternoon, shaping up to be a mouth-watering final.
Yes, a great deal to look forward to tomorrow. Well, of course, it will be finals all the way through here in Eurosport. Those 60-metre semi-finals, if you mark your card, is at 1:30 UK time, the women's semi-finals, and at 1:55 the men's semi-finals. Good chances of medals for the British in both those disciplines, although they've got to negotiate those semi-finals prior to those finals being run towards the very... Well, the women's high jump final about to get underway. Matejeva of Bulgaria being introduced to the crowd in Prague for this 8-woman final. (1.94 in the high jump. The personal best there. And in fact 9 women in this final, excuse me. 9 women making it through. They were trying to make them 8 women finals. Szabo, 191 in qualifying. That's a best of 192, so she did well, the Hungarian, to get through. And the Czechs, well, boy, oh boy, will they get a roar. That's Michaela Kruba. She's only a 191 jumper as well. In fact, only one athlete has got over 2 meters this year, and she's in this field, Litwinko of Poland. We'll see her in a minute.
There is Alessia Trost about to be introduced to the crowd. There she is. A 2-meter jumper at best. Really talented teenager, burst onto the scene a few years ago.
Maria Kuchina of Russia. 194 in qualifying. Kuchina, youth Olympic champion back in 2010 and co-holder of the world indoor title from last year with Litwinko. She's still only 22.
Well, talking of age at the other end of the spectrum, with all due respect to Ruth Beitia, went into retirement, got bored very quickly, came out again. Nearly 36 years old, the defending champion European indoors and twice European champion outside. Still a real force to be reckoned with.
And there is Kamila Litwinko of Poland. She has a share of that world indoor title in front of the home crowd last year in Sopot. Co-holder of the Polish outdoor record as well with 1.99 meters, but she has 2:02 this winter to top the world rankings.
And completing the lineup from Lithuania, Arina Palšytė. It's a 198 jumper, so plenty of quality, including, as we just heard there, the co-holders of the world indoor title from Sopot last year.
Incidentally, talking about Beitia, she has an astonishing record in this discipline, the Spaniard. Not only is she the reigning champion and will put up a stout defence today at the age of 35 of her title, but she took silver medals in these European Indoor Championships in 2005, 2009 and 2011 as well. She waited a long, long time for that gold a couple of years back in Gothenburg.
She did. She's a really watchable jumper. Looking forward to seeing her as always. Great to see, and well, I'm sure we've mentioned in commentary over the years how quickly she got disillusioned with retirement, thought it's all that she wanted to do, and then realised that actually she loved the day job so much she couldn't do without it.
Well, the proceedings will be opened by Venelina Venjeva-Matijeva, yet another Hungarian who's been busted. It's almost the norm now. Served a 2-year doping suspension between 2007 and 2009, but they've been outed now, I'm afraid, as a squad that not very many years ago were almost all of them, or certainly many of them, doping. 40 years old now, Venjeva-Matijeva, but she has cleared 194 this year. I don't know, I haven't checked, but I suspect that's a Masters world record. 194 at the age of 40, it's astonishing.
It is a world record for over 40s, I can confirm.
Wow, she's a 2:04 jumper outdoors. That was back in 2001 and then again in 2006. And the another of the finals about to get underway here is that shot put women's final. It's actually the heptathlon men, excuse me, their shot. I was getting a bit confused there. It's the heptathlon third event. And Shkurenyov it is who leads after 2 disciplines by 37 points, the Russian from the German Artur Arbela, with Wisiolek of Poland after some wonderful long jumping in 3rd place, a further 13 points down, or 18 points down on the silver medal position, I should say. It's still very tight at the top, isn't it, Chris? I mean, you know, okay, only 2 events down, but 37-point gap between 1st and 2nd, 18 points between 2nd and 3rd, and then just 13 points between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, very tight early days, though. And if you're just wondering why DNS was appearing on your screen against Pittonvilles and you weren't following our coverage this morning, just confirm that he had a shocking 3 no jumps in the long jump and essentially is as good as out. So he's not taking part. And Aina Larussen from Iceland is also a non-starter. So the field now down to 13 in this heptathlon.
Arbela there, we saw to the right in second place. 37 points down, the German. Lukyanenko. He's down in 13th of the, in fact, last of the men still in the competition. Well, a bit of attitude never hurt, and you can only possibly wear your hat like that if you've got some sort of pretensions towards an attitude. So the opening jump then for Veneva Matieva. Yeah, fine, that'll do. Always good to start on a positive note. Uh, 1.80 m, a very modest opening height.
Next up from Poland, Justyna Kasprzycka. Again, starting at 180. Easy peasy, clear daylight, as you would expect at this height. Really just getting a feel for the final. Co-holder of the Polish outdoor record of 199. That's with Lishvinko.
So Shkrenyov then, the competition leader in the heptathlon, after a 6.98 60-meter hurdles and a 7.78 personal best, massive personal best in the long jump. That's what, about 13.5 there or thereabouts for the leader. Shkrenyov in the shot has a best of 14.03 this year, so that's not bad. That's within half a metre or so of his season's best. He's almost a 15-metre putter at his best, 14.84 he has thrown in the past, 13.66. That's okay, that's okay. It's a valid effort, racks up vast majority of the points he could accrue in this discipline, and he can build on that.
So next up, in the absence of Niels Pittenwils, is Peter Brown from the Netherlands, lying down in 12th place, so work to do. That is just crept over the 13-meter line. Be 13.10 or so, 13.15, something like that. 13.64 is best so far this season. $13.21, there we are.
Peter Brown. Oh, Brugger to go next. Sorry. Yeah. Pittenwils, of course, is the non-starter. Brugger then. Well, this is a strong event for him. He's a 15-meter plus thrower, languishing down in 11th place at the moment. A good performance in this discipline could embed him deep in the top 10. Oh, ho, ho. That's about 15.10, 15.15. And Brugger, well, he has thrown 15.39, as I say, but if he's thrown around 15.10 there, let's say, he's, gosh, racked up something like 796 points, and it's 15.25, considerably better, 805 points.
Not bad as a loosener, is it?
Not bad at all. Crikey.
So busy scene as always. These indoor championships, plenty to feast the eyes on for the crowd. Heptathletes in action, as we have seen there in the shot put, the high jump going on as well, and Lukasz getting a warm reception. Terrific this morning in the 60 meters, a surprise winner in many ways of that second heat ahead of his compatriot Helchelet. Lukasz lying in 7th place after this morning's events. Well, say around 13.25, 13.30, that sort of range. He is a 14.5 meter thrower, at best, and that's a personal best that he set this season. Disappointment there, you can see. Yeah, 13:30.
So, Gaël Queyrin, lying in 6th place after 2 events. 24 points down on Helchelet of the Czech Republic, who's in 5th. Now, 10 centimetres represents about 6 points. Obviously a metre, roughly 60 points. That's not bad. That's up in the high 13s from Queyrin. And his personal best is 13.94 from earlier on this winter. So he's given that quite a bang. And he should be pretty pleased with that as an opening effort. 13.81, yeah, second best of the day so far. And that for Queyrin, 717 points.
Next up is Artem Lukyanenko, lying down in 13th place. In fact, propping up the table really, in the absence of Pittenvils and Laurussen. So plenty of work to do for the Russian. Shot put one of his stronger events though, as you can see by that opening throw. That is just shy of 15 meters, maybe 14.70 something. He has thrown 14.84 this season. Give it a real bash. He quite like the look of that. First of 3 efforts, 14.70.
Maybe 14.70 or something you said, and he throws 14.70.
Well, you see, it's these new glasses.
I'll need to get some of them. Olsen next to throw then, Petter Olsen. 8th place after the first 2 disciplines with 1,712 points. He's 18 points behind Lukáš of the Czech Republic. He's only thrown 12.85 this year. But he is has thrown well over 14 in the past. And that's a season's best by, well, half a metre. More than half a metre, I think. 12.85, what's that about? Maybe not more than half a metre. It's about 13.30, something like that. $13.26. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. 683 points. Well, the high jump women well underway. The long jump women's final due off in about 3 or 4 minutes' time. You can see the athletes there in the foreground about to be presented to the crowd for that discipline. There are just 8 in that women's long jump final. Klishina, the champion back in 2013, is not in the field. Neither is Lamantia, the 2011 champion, or Potapova, the 2009 champion. We are guaranteed a new champion in that women's long jump discipline. Heike Drexler, 7:37. Now, when you think, Chris, nobody in Europe is over 7 meters this year. Indeed, Katarina Johnson-Thompson tops the rankings. It underlines the greatness of Drexler, although it was, of course, in the colours of GDR.
Yep. Just leave that comment hanging.
It's a nice full stop after that comment, actually. Unless you want to add something.
Let's just add the lineup there. You can see 4 the long jumpers, and at top of the list there, Eloise Le Sueur. And they're the full lineup. So the finalists for the women's long jump. Just before the break, we started looking at the introductions, and continue here with Alina Rotaru from Romania. Eleni Bauska, Ivana Španović as well, the Serbian. world indoor champion bronze medalist, has already been introduced. Now, there's a lady in form this year. Talking about Heike Dressler. Sosten Morganara, who we just saw there, the first German to clear 7 meters since Heike Dressler.
This is Karin Melis May of Turkey. Formerly Karin May of South Africa. She got her Turkish citizenship in June 2008 and was immediately cleared to represent Turkey. And she'd never competed for South Africa, apart from her World Student Games.
Grabuste there completing the lineup from Latvia. So the names to look out for, we sense, in this long jump final. Le Sueur from France, Spanovic, the Serb, and Morganara, the German, who we just saw a few moments ago, probably the likely medal contenders.
Well, Le Sueur, of course, is a 6.92 jumper outdoors. Considerably better than she is indoors. Back to this shot put for the heptathletes. Fisioljak, who threw fantastically in the, or jumped fantastically this morning, I should say, in the long jump. In third place overall. And that doesn't look too bad. He's 10th in the throwing order, has a best of 13.83 this year. Now he has a best this year of 14.32, and that a personal best by 10 centimeters. Fantastic from the pole.
Adam Helschler then, with the home crowd getting right behind him. And again, that looks to be in the 14-meter territory. Helschler. He's another 15-meter thrower, so this is one of his stronger disciplines. And don't forget, he's the European leading performer in the heptathlon. That's 14.24. It's appreciably down on his season's best.
Shkurenyov then opened with 13.66. He's in 6th place now in this particular event. Overall, coming into this discipline, remember, he was the leader by 37 points, so he's got a slight cushion behind him. That's what, about 13.80 there or thereabouts. That might be an improvement on his opener of 13.66. Not bad at all from Shkurenyov, the Russian. $13.89. Yeah, I'd be pleased with that.
Brugger next up, looking to improve on 15.25. One of the stronger throwers in this discipline, and that is not an improvement. That is not over the 15-meter mark. So one more throw for the German. Lying in 11th place coming into this shot put. And just steps on the mark. He's not going to get that marked.
Well, he's done the job really with that opener. 15.25 is fabulous, very close to his lifetime best. Now Urena, I should say. And he's hit that pretty well. About 13.40 there or thereabouts. He's only a 13.89 thrower at his best, and he needs the points too. In 10th place after 2 disciplines. 13.46, good improvement.
So back to the long jump, one of the medal contenders we were talking about just a few minutes ago, Ivana Spanovic from Serbia. Bronze medalist at world level, both indoors and out. Silver medalist in the European Championships outdoors as well. A real competitor. Here she goes. Well, that is peppering the 7-meter mark. just under possibly. She's been in great form so far in 2015, really has.
That's a super opener, Chris. She's a lovely technician too. Good speed, gets an awful lot of height. Squeezes every centimetre out of that she can with that leg shoot.
680. Very, very good opening jump from Spanovic. Yes, you mentioned being in good form, won the Malmö Games a week or so ago, and also the Serbian Indoor Championships as well as victory in Novi Sad. So plenty of victories so far for Spanovic so far this year.
Alina Rotaru, 6:59 in qualifying. She's 5th in the jumping order as the Romanian. Good speed from her, really accelerating into the ball, but I thought she stepped over, and she does just. That's frustrating, because that was a nice jump. Oh, she'll be angry with herself there, because that was a super jump. Only 21 years old. 7th in the European Championships last year. In the outdoor championships, that is. Very good youngster. Pretty good high jumper, actually. She's jumped 185 indoors for the high jump. That's 6 foot 1 inch. Doesn't seem to be disadvantaged by the strapping on that hamstring. Taping, I should say, rather than strapping. So a fresh board goes in with a freshly rolled plasticine. Spanovic in a strong position already, 680. Bauschka opened with 6:59.
Morganara then, who we were talking about earlier on, 25 years old, very much the latest talent in German long jumping. Terrific hang in the air there, and that looks to have taken the lead, provided it's legitimate. It looked pretty good from here on takeoff. Get confirmation of that in a moment, but look at the length of that hang in the air. Terrific technique. Oh yes, well, giving plenty away there as well. But won the German Indoor Championships a week or so ago, was 3rd in Karlsruhe, you may remember a few weeks ago, if you were watching on Eurosport. 683, and takes the early lead, and it's a season's best for the German Morganara.
Well, intrinsically, it was a 7-metre jump, Chris, if you add on what she was behind the board. Well, the crowd loving proceedings unfolding on this 3rd day, the penultimate day of 4 at these European Indoor Athletics Championships in the O2 Arena in Prague, as the field event finals are now well underway. The women's high jump and women's long jump, the pole vault, will be underway in about, the men's pole vault that is, in about 5 minutes. And it's event 3 in the heptathlon for the men on the first day.
This is the defending champion from the Netherlands, Elko San Nicolaas, in the shot put with his 2nd throw. .13.72 is season's best before today. A little bit of frustration there for the Dutchman. 13.75, well, it's a slight improvement. It's his best so far this season, so he shouldn't be that hard on himself.
Now Artur Arbala. 14.16 thrower at his best. He's in 2nd place coming into this discipline. Shkerenyov has thrown 13.89 in round 2, improved marginally. He's the man ahead of Arbala, and that's good. That's about 14.60, something like that. Tell you what, but if it is, that's a personal best for the German. Left-handed thrower. He really heaves that one well. And he likes it, I think. Well, I hope he likes it, because it's pretty big by his standards. 14.60. It is a lifetime best indoors for the shot. .14.60, incidentally, giving him a total of 765 points, and that probably shunts him into the lead ahead of Shkerenyov, or does it? Just double checking. 37 points was the gap.
Bastien Ozé, the strongest coming into this competition so far this season, with 15.71, and that is just shy of the 15-meter mark. A disappointing, rather dejected figure this morning. The Frenchman lying down in 9th place before this shot put discipline. Disappointed with his long jump in particular. Combined total of 16.87, so plenty of work to do for the Frenchman, but this one of his stronger disciplines. But he really needs to capitalise to make up that gap. We'll bring you confirmation of that throw shortly.
And the field being introduced to the crowd for the pole vault. 9 vaulters there, and assuming he can vault a little bit more securely than he did yesterday in qualifying, Renaud Lavillenie is dead cert for gold, the Frenchman. Question is, where else will the medals go behind him? His brother Valentin has made it through to this final. He's a 580 vaulter. The French already with a good few medals from these championships after the clean sweep in the men's 60 hurdles yesterday. 6:16, Lavillinie's world record from last year. He's over 6:02 this year. Only 6 men in history have gone over 6 meters indoors. And there is the lineup. Brace of Frenchmen, the Pole, the Russian, and Lisek as a 590 vaulter this year, more so than anybody else, capable of perhaps jumping to the space should Lavillenie, their third from the right in that white French shirt, should he falter.
And it can happen, can't it? Doesn't happen very often, but you've seen Lavillenie just occasionally get him, well, certainly have to get himself out of trouble, as he did yesterday with a third and final clearance at 5:70. Kulichka being introduced to the crowd. Again, a huge hand from the crowd and the mascot, the little mole, Kurtek. So we shouldn't assume, on paper of course, Lavillenie nailed on to win the gold medal. And for many people that is exactly what will happen, but it's live sport and he's still got to get over the bar.
Sobera there, one of a pair of poles in this one. Robert Sobera, a 581 vaulter this year. His teammate Lisek is the second best in the world. There's Valentin Lavillenie, the French number 2, I think we can say. He has cleared 580 this year. He's a 5th, tiny figure.
There is Piotr Lisek, we mentioned. On paper, the strongest threat to Lavillenie, national record holder now, with 590, jumped in Bad Oeynhausen just a few weeks ago. So we'll keep an eye out for Lisek.
Well, the Germans, unusually, with only one man make it through to this final. That's Tobias Scherbat. Scherbat, 570 vaulter, that's all this winter.
Anton Ivakin from Russia, one of 2 Russians in this pole vault final. Again, 570. So one of the weaker finalists here.
And waiting to be introduced to the crowd there, looking very relaxed, is Renaud Lavillenie, going here for his 4th consecutive title. He is the defending champion. He won in 2009, 2011, 2013. He's the outright world record holder with his 6:16 from Donetsk in the indoor season last year. He's also, of course, the Olympic champion from London nearly 3 years ago now. Extraordinary.
Alexander Kripich from Russia, the second Russian, 581 personal best set this season. So again, he should be competitive here.
And last but not least, amongst these 9 men, Konstantinos Philippidis of Greece, the 28-year-old world indoor champion from last year. He too could spring a surprise here, though his season's best, a very modest 5.71 against Lavillinie's 6:02. It looks, well, like it's not in the same ballpark.
Women's long jump, Marinku from Romania, second jump, just shy of 7 meters. Marinku. That's a great effort, isn't it, for the Romanian? And that looks to be... Well, she's still in the 18. Terrific on takeoff. Just waiting for the result there, but that looked rather special to me for the teenager. Still competing at junior level. And that's just coming through to us as 6 meters 70, and that is a new European junior record for Florentina Marinku. There we are, confirmation, puts her up into 3rd place. Terrific jumping.
Well, Morganara leading in that women's long jump, which has got a long way to go yet, with 6.83 from Spanovic's 80. Well, Union Jacks are very visible there, as are the flags, of course, and plenty of them on the faces of the Czech Republic. They're a proud nation. Now they have their independence from Slovakia. Now they're not under the control of the Soviet Union, or part of the Soviet Union. Enjoying their independence, the Czechs, and a country with such a fabulous tradition. When you think back to the likes of Emil Zatopek and Kratochvilova, so many other great athletes they've had over the decades. Jan Zelezny, of course, still world record holder in the men's javelin. Barbara Spatakova, women's world record holder in the javelin.
She's here, in fact, in Prague this weekend, working for Czech television. Now, we've got a story developing here in the long jump. Eloise Le Sueur with 2 no jumps in her first 2 attempts. This she needs to nail. Well, could that be a 3rd? I'm not sure. It is. 3 red flags. Well,
Le Sueur, Chris, I mean, that's ridiculous. No mark from 3 jumps. There's only 8 of them in the final. She can jump on. There's no cut, so to speak. But nonetheless, to not record a mark after 3 jumps in a wind-free environment on a runway that you've already jumped on in qualifying, that you should be in control of. Goodness me.
Well, for an athlete of her caliber as well. 3rd throw for St. Nicolas, the defending champion in the heptathlon. Looking to improve on his 2 previous efforts, the best of which was 13.75. He's been pretty consistent in the upper 13 meters, 13.70s has the Dutchman. Quite sure whether that is an improvement with his final effort. Yes, it is. It's over 14 meters, so 730 more points usefully for the defending champion, lying in 4th place. But as we said earlier on, very tight at the top there in this heptathlon in the early stages.
Well, Helchelet opened with 14 meters 24. Remains his best, as you can see, 14.04. Everyone, nearly everyone in the stadium willing him to go further. He can go well beyond 15. No, but that probably is an improvement. That might be about 14.50. I thought he might pump something out to around 15 meters, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. An improvement, no doubt. 15.14 is lifetime best this year. Yeah, 14.43. So every centimetre is precious. Remember that every 10 centimetres is about 6 points. You get roughly 62 points per metre.
Now then, the German Arbala with that terrific personal best of 14.60 in the previous throw. Can he improve on that? Another left-hander, notice. Don't see too many left-handed shot putters. Final throw. Well, he's really pumped that one out. Look at that. That is over 15 meters. That is a monster from the German Arbala. Look at that. He's like a rabid dog, if he doesn't mind me saying. He really is absolutely pumped up. And that's the result.
He came here having thrown no better than 14.16 in his life. He's put another metre and more on it.
15.54, an absolutely enormous personal best. Talk about the adrenaline pumping. My word.
Well, Chris, surely that'll put him in the lead. Come the assessment after these this next throw. Bastien Ozé will close this competition. His third and final throw coming up for the Frenchman. He's was in 9th place after this, after 2 events, 14.81. He's thrown 13.55 and 14.81, but he can go nearly a metre better than that. Indeed, more than a metre than that. He's a 16-metre throw at his best. He's thrown 16.12. And that's more like it. 14.81 becomes 15-something. He's not looking too happy, but I suppose, you know, it's reasonable for him to expect something up there around 15.5 metres, but that's almost right on the 15-metre line. He doesn't like it. Well, if he didn't like that, imagine what he must have thought of his 13.55 opener. 14.90. I thought it was a bit further. So he's given away quite a few points there. He could have been 30 or so more up if he'd grabbed another half metre.
Well, very much the man of the moment in this heptathlon competition. That was a terrific throw, one of the highlights of the afternoon session, surely the highlight so far, from Arbola, Arthur Arbola. And we'll wait for confirmation to see if that's put him into the lead after 3 disciplines.
Well, there is Arbola leading the shot put competition with 15.54. That personal best from him. Well, about 1.3 meters on anything he's thrown in his life before indoors. Brugger and Ozé both going well. Let's see if we can bring you that overall situation after 3 disciplines in the heptathlon. For them, the high jump to come. And there it is, 2.680, 64 points. He's turned the tables on Shkarenko very impressively, Chris.
Yes, he has, in a couple of throws. The latter particularly, absolutely brilliant. 2 personal bests in 3 throws. And Arbola now leading the way over Shkarenko.
Brugger down in 6th place with 2.481. He's dropped a lot. He was in 4th coming into that 3rd discipline. Their high jump, the big fellas, comes up at 5:30 UK time. So they've got about 1 hour and a quarter to go in and do what they need to do. Spanovic 6.80, her opener. Then a no jump, but she is in 2nd place. Oh no, she's into the plasticine there, I'm sure. That's a shame, because that looked big. I'm sure she got the red flag there, didn't she? Maybe not. She's got that knack of attaining so much height, maintaining the speed. Oh, brilliant. But she's able to perform the technique so well. She gets so much height with the good sprint speed. And that from Spanovic is better. 6.98, a national record. Boy, oh boy. And that's the obviously a personal best, a national record. It's the longest jump in Europe this year.
Well, we said she came into this competition in Prague in sparkling form, and they're the proof. As we switch our attention to the high jump, also going on in the infield. Alessia Trost, the Italian, tall, perfect build for high jumping. So 194, yes. Nicely done by the Italian. Clean card, perfect first time clearances so far, right through from 1.80 meters. Just to put it into context, she has jumped 196 this season, and her lifetime best, she is a fully paid up member of the 2 meter club.
Kuchina then. Perfect card for her too. Here she goes at 194. Thank you very much. That'll do. It's got the makings of quite a special competition, this, with them popping over 194 first time, looking so comfortable. Kuchina, well, you'd expect it. She's a 2 meter jumper at her best. 199 this year.
Lishchenko then gave her a big build-up coming into this competition. Jointly holds the world indoor title from Sopot last year with Kuchina. Yeah, nicely done as well. Rather fetching in the long red socks. Good technique. And she is very much the form jumper, the 28-year-old coming into this competition. 202. She's actually cleared 2 meters 3 times in 2015.
Loiseur then in the long jump. There's her card. She does jump on. That's almost a luxury, I suppose, really, considering the quality of her jumping so far. Desperately needs a mark here. And Spanovic now leading with that 698. Morganara 683. Third place. Bronze medal position 674 by Rotaru's personal best in round 2. That's vulnerable. And it's not far off it. Records a mark there. Good on the board. And that looks around 670, something like that. That would be the same as Marinchu. So Romanians in 3rd and 4th at the moment. Rotaru with 674. And her teammate Marinchu 670. Personal best for Rotaru in 3rd. European junior record for Marinchu. And Loiseur, they're 666, just down a bit, into 5th place though, with her first valid jump. She's left it late, and now she's got to try and make inroads into the top 4.
Ruth Beitia, second attempt at 194 in the high jump. The defending champion from Gothenburg 2 years ago. And she's been living dangerously. Oh. Well, that's why she's so experienced. Gave it a little tickle, but it stayed up. Yet to record a first-time clearance at any height. Came in at 185. Failed the first attempt. Likewise at 190. And there we are, second attempt at 194. So not a perfect card for Beitia, but she's still in there.
Well, if you just joined us, it's about 5:15 in Prague. These field event finals continue. The first track action will get underway at 6 o'clock. So we're talking about 45 minutes as we see Palsite getting ready for her next effort in this high jump final. Cleared 180, 185, 190 first time. 194 for her second time of asking, yes. And that elevates her past Beitia, who is shunted down to 5th because she's had fewer failures at previous heights. Like Beitia, she's cleared 194 at the second attempt, but the Spaniard recording some what could be costly failures. First time clearance at 185 was a failure. First time clearance at 190 was a failure. The same at 194, which we saw her get over at the second attempt just now. So what, 5 women over 194 at the moment. And everybody else out apart from this lady, who's going to take her 3rd attempt, Kasprishka, Chris.
Yep, the pole. Last chance saloon. This would equal her season's best coming into Prague. Just going through those visualization techniques. Yes, and they're working. My word, the relief, the pressure on those jumpers. We saw it yesterday, didn't we, with Katarina Johnson-Thompson and Morgan Lake, I recall, on a couple of occasions. 2 failures, and it's all or nothing, do or die. And it takes some courage, doesn't it, to get yourself in the mindset to get over. And she's done it, and she liked that.
So 6 women still in there. Venyeva Mateyeva went out. She finished in 7th place. She had a 3rd time clearance at 190. And 8th shared by Zaba and Hruba. Now Bauschka, round 4, lying in 6th place in this long jump competition. Needs to jump out of her skin here, really, to penetrate the top 5. Oh, and she has. Oh, does she get the red flag? That looked pretty big from Bauschka. There is a big one in there. She's only got a personal best of 6:68 from a couple of years ago. Le Sueur holds 5th place with 6:66. No, good on the board. And I'll tell you what, I thought that was pretty big. She didn't seem enthralled with it. European under-23 champion all of 6 years ago, and the silver at the high jump, 6:57. I thought it looked further, 6:59. She stays in 6th with her best back in round 1.
Let's just dip into the early stage of the, not dominated, of course, by Monsieur Lavillenie. He will be making his entrance at a later stage. This Alexander Griffith about to go with his 4th attempt. That's good. (5.45 meters). Yeah, plenty of clearance there, so good vaulting by the Russian. Tell you that Lavillenie has passed on 5:45 and 5:55, as you would expect.
Drosten next to go. The bar in the women's high jump is now up at 197. Kapliska has failed. Can Trost be the first to go clear? No. And that wasn't very close, frankly. As you pointed out, Chris, she is capable of this, although she hasn't done it this winter. Her best this year, 196. She is a 2-meter jumper at her absolute best, the Italian. European under-23 champion a couple of years ago. She's only 21. Quite a youngster compared with the likes of Beitia, who, just to remind you, is 35 years old now. Been around such a long time. Youngest of 5 children. She's 192 tall, so yeah, pretty much spot on. 6'4" is Beitia. Kuchina next to go. Now, first time clearance at this height becomes very, very significant. It can nab you a medal.
Yes, it can. There we are, the perfect card so far, leading the way. I'd love to add another little circle in the 197 column. Still only 22 years old. Kuchina seems to have been around forever. Oh, too far away. But the first blemish on that scorecard for Kuchina. Got most of the body over, but just clipped it on the way down. Wasn't a huge amount of clearance. It was the it was the calves.
Yeah.
So, an opportunity for the others. Beitia, Lishvinko.
An opportunity for Spanovic now to go still further. What a series she's put together. 698 in the third round, 680 the opener. The no jump in between doesn't matter a jot. Here goes the serve now. Can she reach out to 7 meters? Oh, very close again. World Championship bronzes indoors and out in 2014, and then a silver medal in Zurich last summer. Well, it's another lovely jump, it really is. She enjoys herself too, does Spanovic, 24 years old. She once kept a pet kangaroo at her home in Novi Sad called Stoppy. 689. Well, she's got the 2 best jumps of the day so far. Morganara in second place with 683. That was from the first round. Hasn't come close to that, Morganara, since.
Lishvinko then, very much the form jumper in the high jump in 2015. As we mentioned, she's cleared 2 meters on 3 occasions in 5 competitions, so she's in great nick. Oh, not on that occasion though. That was her first attempt at 197. In fact, nobody clear at 197 yet.
Well, the men's long jump of victory ceremony coming up now. And it was an event that resulted in rather a special day for the Swedes. They took a brace of medals last night in this discipline. Gold and silver for the Swedes, bracketing a Czech silver. Torop Nielsen, European Athletics Council member, will be presenting the medals for the 2 Swedes, and importantly, of course, the home athlete who took the silver medal, Juska, Radek Juska. He said, I think that every athlete dreams about something like this. It's my first big championships and my first medal, so it's great results. Spectators here made an awesome experience for me. 8:10 is my new personal best, and very significant one, I think. But this is Andreas Otterling, took the bronze medal with 8:06, a personal best for him too, Chris, and really good to see so many athletes hitting their best ever marks, rising to the occasion.
Well, I was just about to use the exact expression, when it matters on the big stage. And, well, of course, this is not a global championship, but it is in a world championship year. And Otterling there with his bronze medal. Just a couple of quotes from his post-competition interview. He said that he wasn't really expecting that he'd be able to fight for medals in Prague, but after qualification he thought, well, why not? Maybe I can do it. And he did. And he described this bronze medal as simply unbelievable.
Super personal best for Otterling and a silver medal for Radek Juska. He said after the competition last night, I'm going to celebrate with my family a little, but bigger celebration will be on Sunday because it's my birthday as well. So, well, happy birthday to him. Or an early happy birthday to him, I should say. And he had to give best to another Swede, Michael Turnius it was, who in the second round produced a national record of 8 meters 30, a new world lead for this year. He had a no jump in the first round, then the monster 8 meters 30, then an 8:03 in the third round. Then he thought, job done, don't think I'll bother jumping anymore. He didn't jump in rounds 4, 5, 6. There was no need. Absolutely fabulous. And Turnius saying, I can't believe it. I waited for this medal for so long and I've worked so hard. It's even more. It's 2 medals for Sweden. I don't even know if this has ever happened in history. There are so many people I have to thank for this achievement who helped me and supported me so much. It's right. He's dead right. You forget that every one of these athletes has got a big team behind them. and they are sharing in this celebration. Well, world indoor bronze last year becomes European indoor gold. He was 4th at the London Olympics. He missed the bronze by 1 centimetre. This, if you like, is consolation of sort, and he had his little daughter in the stadium as well. Gold and bronze for Sweden.
Well, welcome back to Prague, day 3 of the European Indoor Championships, and lots of field events going on concurrently. Alessia Trost next to go in the high jump. Second attempt at 197 is an unsuccessful attempt, so 1 effort remaining for the Italian, who's approaching season's best territory. Got the men's pole vault in the early stages, just to, if you're just joining us. Women's high jump, as we can see there, 2 attempts for Alessia Trost, and a terrific long jump, women's long jump final also just cranking up and starting to approach the business end.
Yes, Marinchu next to go. Now, 6.79, a European junior record, and that's good as well. Or was it? 6.79 coming in the 4th round for her. Or was it the 5th round? Just checking. She does get the white flag. 6.70. She had a no jump in the 1st round, then a 6.70, then 6.59. 6.60. She's putting together the series of her life, this youngster. Came here with a best of 6 meters 67, and she gets the white flag for that. 6.79. European junior record has improved in the 5th round, but she's a very lucky young lady, because 9 times out of 10, I think that's given as a no jump.
Well, from juniors to seniors, Ruth Beitia approaching her 36th birthday. Oh, not far off. That's the 2nd attempt for the Spaniard, the defending champion, remember, from Gothenburg 2 years ago. Not too far off that at 197, and it still matters even after all these years. You can see the frustration. They just hate failing, don't they?
Well, she's under pressure now, but still nobody clear at 197. It has proven resilient to all assaults. Now Litvinenko, the world #1. Pressure on her. She's Chris Winter. And now, oh! Now she's angry. Channel it. Channel that aggression. What does she catch it with? They're so lean, these girls, these ladies. Yeah, that backside, I think. Yeah, I was going to say, there isn't a great deal poking out to catch the bar, but she managed to super jumping up to this height. And plenty of immediate feedback there from the coach for the world #1.
Parsite then with her 2nd attempt at 197. A height that's eluded everyone so far. Oh, well, nowhere near. Came crunching down on the bar, the Lithuanian. So, who is going to go clear at 197 and take control of this high jump final?
That's 6 athletes now jumping at 197. They've all had 2 failures. You just get the feeling that the next clearance might secure gold. Kuchina shares the lead with Litvinenko and Trost. They've all got identical cards. Then in 4th place, Parsite here. She had 1 failure at 194, which has kept her out of the medal positions at the moment. She cleared it at the 2nd time of asking. And And it is Litwinko, Kaspricka, excuse me, who will be next to go. One of two Poles in this final. Co-holder of the Polish outdoor record with 199 with Litwinko. That was from last year. 6th in Moscow at the World Championships 2 seasons back, and 4th at the World Indoors last year, and then 4th again in Zurich last summer. Tough old year that, very tough to take, but maybe something that fires you up into your winter's training. Can she make it culminate in something special now? No. Well, that's her day over. She shares the lead. Is it conceivable that 3 athletes will share the gold? Sorry, she's in 6th place. I'm looking at her teammate, Litwinko. Dear, oh dear. She's in 6th place. Cleared 194 at the 3rd time of asking. That was the best of her day. Equalled her season's best. It's still been a superb weekend's competition from her.
Trosten with her 3rd attempt, just in her own way, trying to visualize what it takes to get over the bar. So easy to imagine, rather more difficult to do, and that's the trick. Fascinating watching these jumpers go through their mental preparation. She knows what it takes. It's just piecing it all together in a movement that lasts a matter of seconds. Trosten. Yes! Oh my word! Now, is that the gold medal jump from the Italian? 3rd attempt at 197 and the first athlete to clear that height. That could be enough. It could be.
Well, 4 years ago, Di Martino took this title for Italy. Ruth Beitia 2 years back. Can this gold be wrestled back into the hands of the Italian team? That's a fabulous jump. Boomed over it too. Well, here is the next jumper, Kuchina. The pressure on. All of a sudden, we have a leader, an individual leader. She shared the lead, Kuchina, here with Trost and Litwinko, but she here, Kuchina and Litwinko, now share the silver medal position. This for a share of the lead once more. Yes. So often, at the 3rd time of asking, when the pressure is really on, these competitors are able to pull out what is necessary, whether it's a long jumping in a multi-event or qualifying in a throw, or in this sort of situation in a vertical jump where you know it's now or never. So now she shares the lead once more with Trost. The Italian is not out there in front alone. Litwinko here has 3rd, Palsita in 4th, Beitia back in 5th.
Well, last chance saloon for the 35-year-old. No, not to be. She will not defend successfully her European indoor title. Disappointment for the Spaniard. It will not be her day, and she got that all horribly wrong, didn't she? Sadly, but terrific to see her competing with a smile on her face. But her competition is over.
Well, here goes Litwinko. From having a share of the lead, she's been shunted down to 3rd place. Tops the world rankings. Final chance. No, and it wasn't close either. Oh, she got that so wrong. Philosophical acceptance there, and a smile which might have been a little bit forced. She got to be disappointed with that because she didn't jump well then. Palsite, the one athlete now that can deny her a medal, has yet to take her 3rd attempt. But Litwinko in 3rd place. and that'll be the best she can finish behind the shared gold of Cucina, the Russian, and Trost, the Italian. Now,
well, here is the Lithuanian with this final attempt at 197. This for the bronze medal, potentially. No, it will not be. And so there we are. That is the conclusion of this fascinating, in the end, women's high jump final. And we have our 1, 2, 3 joint gold for Russia and Italy. Alessia Trost, the first over at 197, matched by Maria Cucina, the co-holder of the world indoor title. They will share gold with Kamila Nishvinko from Poland getting the bronze.
Well, we go straight back over to the long jump, which is in its latter stages now. Rotaru in 4th place. Spanovic leads with that 6.98 national record. Mogwenara of Germany, silver, 6.83, silver position. Marinchu, her teammate, in 3rd. Can she unseat her? No, that looked like a no jump to me. It's big, and that's a great shame. 6.79, Marinchu holds the 3rd with a European junior record. Rotaru's on 6.74, a personal best, which for her came in the 2nd round. So, first place held by Spanovic. Mogwenara, the silver. Marinchu, the bronze. And Rotaru, they're getting consoled by her coach with the Lasseur behind her in 5th. Bauschka, the German, in 6th. But she's a very worthy champion, is Ivana Spanovic today. Her 2 best jumps, good enough for gold. Mogwenara now with her final chance to move from 2nd to the lead, and then she'd have to watch Spanovic jump. No. No, looked to me like she was too far forwards over her takeoff foot when she hit the board. But she's delighted nonetheless, and rightly so. Super jump from her, a season best, 6.83 was her opener. She applied the pressure very early on, did the German. But Mogwenara became Germany's first 7-meter long jumper last year. Since the retirement of Heike Drexler, she's 25 now. She has an outdoor best of 7.04. Actually, it was in 2013. And 4th at the European Championships in 2012. Only 12th at the last World Championships. And today, the silver is guaranteed. Here is Spanovic, the champion already. But can she go out to 7 meters here? Would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be a lovely way to finish with a flourish, and you wouldn't put it past her. She has been in terrific form all year and continued it here in Prague. Seems to have got a real rhythm going. Well, just shy of 7 meters, so we won't get the 7-meter jump, but also quite a way before the board. But look at that, the golden smile. Spanovic is the European indoor champion for 2015.
Spanovic's 6.98, a national record, a gold medal winning jump in round 3, is an out-and-out personal best. Her outdoor best is 6.88. She's gone 10 centimeters further today. She's not a bad triple jumper. She's done 13.78 for the triple jump. But from 5th 2 years ago in Gothenburg, she has elevated herself to gold today. And with a big distance too. It's the best in Europe this year. She tops the world rankings, overtaking Katarina Johnson-Thompson, who was on top with 6.93, 6.98 for Spanovic. And there's picture postcard, perfect shot of the lovely Serbian champion. And sharing the moment there with her coach, clearly. Won the Malmo Games here on Eurosport a couple of weeks back. And has earned this status. She's gone through the gears in major championships, only 11th in the London Olympics, Chris, but now atop the pile.
In terrific form and a worthy winner. Goal for Serbia, Germany silver and Romania bronze.
Well, the long jump concluded, the high jump concluded. We can go over to the pole vault now, where things are in full flow. And I can tell you that one or two athletes now clear at 5.65. That's where we're at in proceedings. Renaud Lavillenie is still not in the competition. He's passing at this height. Looks like he will come in at the next height, which I think will be 5.75, or will it be 5.70? I've not got an indication here. But for Kudlička, 5.75, yeah, first time failure. Not quite sure why we're seeing Trost jumping. This, I suppose, is reflecting a celebration of her. Was she jumping on? She's had one failure at 199. Yes, of course, they have to jump on, don't they? Silly me, I'm trying to say the high jump is concluded, but Kuchina and Trost sharing the lead at the moment. They're the last two in it.
Yeah, of course, the show goes on. Barrett at 199. Kuchina has already failed, and there's Trost at the first attempt going over, or trying to go over and failing. So it's a second failure, in fact, for Trost.
It was close, wasn't it?
It was close.
So Kuchina now will go. Sobera back in this pole vault. Cleared 5.65 at the second time of asking. Came in at 5.45, cleared second time, then passed 5.55, cleared 5.65 at the second time of asking. Now here he goes at 5.75. The pole then, 5.75, this for the lead. Oh, that's nice. Almost rolls around it, lots of contact, but no heavy contact, nothing really hard on that bar. His outdoor personal best is 5.80. He's cleared 5.81 indoors this winter, but importantly 5.75 here now, at the first time of asking, and that's important. 6th in the world indoors last year. He no-heighted in the final in Zurich last summer, but he's getting it right now, that temperament, that focus in these vertical jumps. It's just so unforgiving. Well, Trost takes her final effort at the next height that would have secured the lead for her individually at 199, and it's the third time failure, I'm afraid, for her. She now has to sit and watch Kuchina, the Russian, with whom she shares first place in this high jump attempt at that height. Litwinko is confirmed, the Pole, the world #1 this year, as the bronze medalist with a first-time clearance at 194. Couldn't clear 197. Both Kuchina here and Trost, who is now out of the competition but shares the lead, cleared 197 at the third time of asking. Oh boy, that was close. And so was her previous effort. You don't want a share of a gold medal, do you? I mean, I know you could be saying, you could say that's being picky, but you want that gold all to yourself. This young lady was a youth Olympic champion back in 2010. How much would she love to be back on top of the pile at a senior championship all on her own? But it was not to be, so they share the gold, Trost of Italy and Kuchina of Russia. Well, a presentation ceremony now by Libor Vahanik. the Czech Athletic Federation and local organising committee president for the 60-metre hurdles for men. And this will be some French celebration. Marseillaise will ring out loud and proud because it was a 1-2-3 for the French last night. Astonishing result.
Yes, bronze going to the world junior champion. Huge talent. Willem Bellotien and a new personal best of 7:52. It was widely predicted the 1-2-3 clean sweep for France, but not in this order, it has to be said. So bronze to Bellotien, his first medal at senior level. Dimitri Bascu takes silver, or took silver last night, and was the in-form athlete and very much the tip for gold. Bascu, who said afterwards it's true he was leading the field at a certain moment, but he can't be vexed with a silver medal. Very satisfied with his season. But he's right, he was leading up to 60 metres, but was reeled in by his more experienced counterpart. And that is the man in the centre of shot, Pascal Martinot-Lagarde, who came up trumps when it mattered. Had been in rather stuttering form in the early stages of 2015. But gold and a golden smile for Pascal Martinot-Lagarde. Special historical moment for him, he said, and for France. 3 medals for our country at 60 metres hurdles. And he said, I think this proves that there are the best hurdlers in France. European indoor champion, terrific. Let's enjoy the Marseillaise. Well, terrific hurdling by France, and pretty good singers as well, I have to say. Not often you can say that of many athletes, but they enjoyed their moment, didn't they, Tim?
I was going to say the opposite. Really? I thought stick to the day job, boys, but I don't know what standards are like in North London. Maybe they're different.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment.
Who are?
What a day for France, though. And, well, a clean sweep in the 60 metres hurdles. Pascal Martinot-Lagarde, who was the world #1 in the short hurdles in 2014. 5 times a Diamond League winner. It's a disappointment at the European Championships last year.
Well, we have got a jump off in this women's high jump, as you can see. So, Trost and Kuchina, they're going to battle it out. They both had 3 failures at 1m99. They both had a 3rd time clearance at 1.97. They both had a perfect card up to and including 1m94. So Trost, with that strange preparation of hers, the Italian champion, visualizing the motor patterns of the jump. She's going through the process in her mind again and again. And, chatting away with Gianfranco Cessa, her coach. She's 188 tall. Doesn't look it, does she? Because she's not quite as lean as many of the high jumpers. She's powerfully built. Great power to weight ratio. Really solid muscular thighs. 6'2", that is, 1m88, for those of you who want the pounds, shillings and pence. And she's had a Fairly conservative winter of competition, only 4 contests prior to coming to these championships, but how well has she judged it? After 9th in the European Outdoor Championships last summer, she's had a super weekend. No. Of course, the other element to remember, Chris, is that they've been out there for quite a long time now. So it's, what, 6 o'clock and an hour and a half. They've been actually in competition in Prague, so that means they've been out there for well over 2 hours. And fatigue and focus begins to increase, and the focus begins to diminish. At least you have to work so much harder to stay focused and to care when you've got one hand on the gold. I don't know, maybe I'm saying that wrong. Perhaps they are desperate to get this right, but that looked like a very, very tired effort.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. And the mental processes, as you can see, that they have to go through, manifesting themselves differently. The preparation from Trost there, very visual, lots of hand movements. Look at that, just a faint movement of the lips from Kuchina, completely contrasting way of preparing for the jump. Oh, that was closer, but still some way to go at 2 meters and 1 centimeter. So they jump on. Bronze already settled. Nishvinko from Poland, that we know. But we still don't know the top 2.
Well, while they battle that out, the athletes are out on the track ready for the first track action of the afternoon. It's the women's 800 meters semi-finals, 2 races. That'll be followed by the men's equivalents. The pole vault final, of course, still underway.
Lishek, second attempt at 5. First attempt at 5.75, I should say, and you can see there a successful attempt for the pole. The bar at 5 meters 75. Good clearance as well, wasn't it? Certainly got the height, just brushed it with the vest on the way down, on the downward movement. But all importantly, the bar stayed there. Takes the lead.
Well, the little big fella is out. The opening height for the defending champion, the reigning champion, the Olympic champion, the world record holder, 5.75. He's small compared with many of these men. It says in my notes he's 1.76 meters. Well, that's about 5'9". I know he's taller than that. He's about 5'10", 5'11". But Renaud Lavillenie, first attempt at 5.75. Oh, good job. The roof's pretty high in here, because that was monstrous. That was about a 6-meter vault. Surely he was a couple of feet over that. Let's have a look at it again. Oh, I mean, it's just stunning, isn't it? The momentum he maintains. There you go. That's about 18 inches over the bar.
Well, I was going to say, good job there is a roof on. He could have landed in a Strava.
I don't let's exaggerate, Chris.
It is phenomenal, though, isn't it? The technique. Absolutely superb.
So he takes the lead. Lishek, who we saw clear 5.75 first time, is had a failure at 5.65. He only cleared that at the second time of asking. So Lavillenie, with that one clearance, has taken the lead. And conceivably, it could be the gold medal winning jump. Unlikely, I think. There will be others battling on and possibly through 5.75.
Talking of battling on, the showdown in the high jump continues. So we're back down to 199, working our way backwards from 2 meters and 1 centimeter, both failures. Well, that was a pretty lame and further evidence of what Tim was saying a moment ago in commentary about fatigue setting in. That looked again like a rather weary attempt to me.
Yeah, very similar to the first attempt, wasn't it? Still trying to get the feedback, but I just get the feeling the spirit has gone from her jumping after those last 2 attempts. Who knows? 800 meter semis now, and Chris, to take you through the first one, first 3 to the final. Chris, no room for errors on these.
First action then on the track on the evening session, afternoon stroke evening session on day 3. It's the semi-final, the first of 2 semi-finals in the 800 meters. There's the card, 6 athletes, and it's a pretty brutal qualification. The first 3 go through quite simply to the final on Sunday, which will be at 12 minutes past 3 Central European time. And I'm looking forward, I must say, to seeing Jenny Meadows in the top of picture there in lane 6. There she is, known as the pocket rocket from Wigan. She has been very much the standout athlete in 2015. Hasn't been in great health this week, had a bit of a cold, which she didn't make much of, as is her character, not one to look to make excuses. But she came through qualifying impressively, and she would love to win this title. She's got to get through to the final first, but she was denied her moment of glory in 2011. Finished in 2nd place, but denied the gold medal and then upgraded after yet another doping violation, which came after the event. So if anybody deserves her moment on the podium, it is Jenny Meadows there on the left of picture, who has been, after an injury-ravaged several years, is back to something approaching her best at the age of 33. She'll be pushed all the way by the Icelander Anita Henriksdottir, who goes in lane 5 on her inside. And there is Jenny Meadows. Back to the 800 in a moment.
Here's Kuchina. Yes, yes, goes clear. And that, I think, in a sudden death situation, is the gold medal winning jump. And Trost has to settle for the silver. The bar, I think, at 199. There's no clear indication from where we are. Oh, well done to her for retaining her focus, and she's a worthy winner, because I tell you what, Trost looked mentally spent. Much the taller of the two, the Italian, isn't she? She's a big lady, but she looks almost relieved that the pressure is over and done with. I think she'd almost effectively thrown in the towel. I don't know, I might be reading the situation wrong, but the Italian indoor champion seems delighted with the silver medal.
Away we go then. First of the 2 semi-finals in the 800 meters. Names to look out for: Jenny Meadows, we saw just before the high jump conclusion there. Henriksdottir with that very distinctive style, the arms outstretched in a very upright position, and there's a lot of bunching and barging, and straight away Henriksdottir hits the front with Jenny Meadows in close attendance. Should also mention Selina Büchel, the Swiss, who set the European Championships alight last year to great effect. But Henriksdottir, Tim, with that really ungainly but highly effective style, known for her front running, hitting the front early on. Well, and this is absolutely perfect for Jenny Meadows, because Jenny, tucked in there in 2nd place, has got a pacemaker, an unpaid pacemaker. And little Henriksdottir, who just loved to do this, and has in the past gone out at a suicidal pace, most notably at the World Junior Championships last year in Eugene. Taking them through at a very crisp tempo. There it is, 60.27, absolutely perfect, and not many of them can run a really hard second half better than Jenny Meadows. Well, Jenny Meadows, one of the best tacticians in the business, as we say, got a free pacemaker to aim at there. The first 3, remember, only go through, and it's the Russian Bazdrieva who's taking up 3rd position, with Büchel there just coming by and regaining that 3rd spot. So there is Henriksdottir, the Icelander, the teenager who hits the bell. 200 meters to go, and Jenny Meadows there looking comfortable in 2nd place. Not sure whether she's still suffering from the after effects of that cold here in Prague, but she doesn't need to do anything stupid here. Just make the place in the final, not take too much of herself in getting there, and then she can enjoy at least another night before taking to the final. But the Russian there, 3 only to go through. Jenny Meadows just needs to be careful here. Jenny Meadows is in danger of going out there, and I wonder if she has, having tempted fate rather. Commentators curse, she looks so comfortable, and I wonder there whether Jenny Meadows, the effects of that cold, that the media, frankly, were making far more of than she was. But she really hasn't been in great health all week since she arrived in Prague. And it looks to me, subject to confirmation, as if Buchel may well have just come good right at the end there to deny Jenny Meadows a place in the final.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt at all that Jenny has been compromised massively there by a cold. 202.4 from Jenny, and she has had the cold, and that's a great shame because she tops the world rankings by a big margin. She's the only athlete under 2 minutes this year, and I was rather fearing it, really. Determined running from Hinrichsdottir. The trouble is that she destroys other athletes behind her. She destroys herself, and she destroys athletes behind her, and this dragged everything out of Jenny Meadows. It was a fabulous run, considering she's been ill all week, but she finishes a close fourth behind the young Islander, who is beaten there by Buchel, who sets a personal best, and Bazdrieva, the Russian, ironically, making it through to the final. And for Jenny Meadows, that's a crying shame, but maybe, just maybe, she and Trevor Painter, her husband and coach, felt that was quite possible, because it's tough to come back from illness to race at that sort of level. The heats is one thing. Semi-finals, you're performing at a quite different level.
Well, their confirmation that Jenny Meadows just outside the qualification places and will not progress to the final.
Well, that's one of the biggest disappointments of the weekend for the British squad, but Jenny is human, so if it's not doped up Russians beating her in major championships, then it's a virus. How frustrating can that be? Especially when you're of mature years like Jenny is. She's been around the block, 33 years old now. She hasn't got too many more championships in her legs. There's the lineup for the second heat. Trost, Mazna, Lupu, Lamotte, Jozvik, and Poistagova, another Russian, goes in this one. Hard to believe that the Russian Bazdrieva was second in that first semi-final with 2:02 and a personal best. Don't have to go back too many years when there were many huge Russians running close to 50 seconds for 400 meters and going down below 2 minutes for 800 meters almost weekly in the indoor season. And the Russian Indoor Championships was always a revelation. They'd all come out and run massively fast times, produce huge performances. Those days are long gone, thank goodness. They're so mortal now, they're so normal. It's delightful to see. Stina Trost goes on the inside for Denmark, then Lenka Mazna of the Czech Republic in 2, 1:59 performer outdoors. Natalia Lupa of Ukraine goes in 3, Lamotte of France in 4, Jozvik Poland 5, Poistagova and Russia in 6. There's Trost. She's actually quite a useful 400-meter hurdler. Second in the Youth Olympic 400 hurdles 5 years ago. Trost has a best of 56.5. Got through as the fastest Lou. Both her parents were Danish champions at 400 hurdles, so she has strong genes. Lenka Mazna, sub-2 minute performer outdoors, semi-finalist at the last 2 outdoor European championships, and indeed at the European indoors a couple of years ago in Gothenburg. Lupu of Ukraine, the defending champion, goes in lane 3. She's a good 400-meter runner. It's run 52.9. That's 3 or 4 years ago. Former European junior champion Lupu. Renelle Lamotte of France, semi-finalist at the Europeans last summer. She's the French champion this winter. Ran 2:02 in the heats, and I was quite impressed with her, I must say. She's only got a best of 2:01.97, but I think she's worth better than that from what I saw. Joanna Jozvik of Poland won her heat in a slow 2:04, so she had the most economical qualifying through to these semis. European Championship bronze medalist outdoors last year, Jozvik there in lane 5. The Poles have quite a tradition over 800 meters on the men's and women's side. And there's Poistagova, Yekaterina Poistagova, the bronze medalist at the Olympic Games in London, only 3rd in the Russian Championships this winter, but a heat winner yesterday. She has run 1:57 outdoors. On paper, she's head and shoulders above the rest of this field. Poistagova. Well, away they go. Nothing is certain in this sport, that is for sure, as Jenny Meadows knows all too well after failing to get through from that first semi-final to tomorrow's final. You know, they've set off pretty quickly here. Lupu on the shoulder of Trost, coming around the outside Lamotte, and Poistagova having to take the long line too, running 2 or 3 meters further than they might have liked on that second bend. And it's slowed down now. Nobody really wants to be out there in front. 3 abreast through 200. 31.16. It's slow, but there are no fastest losers, so it matters not a jot. This is a tactical affair.
Well, they're jogging now. Look, this is almost embarrassing, isn't it? But nobody wants to take it on. Lupu, the defending champion there. Look at that. I mean, that's a jog, isn't it?
Well, the danger is when it gets this slow, is that somebody could go down. It's so much more easy to make contact with somebody when you're tightly bunched and people are trying to get out of box positions. You can see Masner on the inside there in that red strip of the Czech Republic has just pushed away towards the outside, and now she hits the front and the crowd roar as they go through 469, 38 seconds that second lap. Into lap 3 then, still leading is Trost of Denmark. On her shoulder, Lupu, Natalia Lupu, the defending champion from Ukraine, and now kicking in hard there, and she's got the jump on them, Josvik, and that's a smart move of her. She leads. The race is on in earnest. 250 to run. They're chasing hard. She's got the inside line. They're going to have to come wide round her. Into the final lap, a 30.7 there for that third lap with the big acceleration on the second bend. Down the back straight, and remember the first 3, it's Lamotte in third place for France, then a gap back to the 4th, but the defending champion Lupu of Ukraine hits the front going into the final bend. Josvik is in second place. Still, there's a question mark over who the 3 will be as Lupu kicks hard for the line. She's not going to be caught. Good running there from Josvik in second place, and coming through strongly there, the Russian, poised to go over to take third place, and Lamotte, the French, run into 4th there down the home straight. Nothing she could do about it. Poised to go over, coming very, very wide down the outside like an absolute train to take the 3rd qualifying spot. But Lupu, well, she looked fabulous, didn't she? Very, very strong, big, well-muscled Ukrainian. How familiar is that? And for my money, she's a nailed-on winner come the final, with Buchel having won the first semi. Chris, a bit of a surprise.
Well, it's a shame, without being too British-centric about it, it's a shame that Jenny Meadows isn't in full form, because I think an informed Jenny Meadows probably across the field would have been the athlete to give Lupu a run for her money in the final. And of course, we've just seen that Meadows will not be there in that final. There's nothing really. Well done, we should say, for Josvik for taking it out and putting in an injection of pace on that 3rd lap.
Well, that final will be tomorrow, as will the men's. The men's semi-finals next up. The final is tomorrow at just after 3 p.m. Central European time. 2 p.m. of course here in the UK. We'll be covering everything for UK viewers, and just confirming the win for Cucina in that high jump competition over Trost of Italy. What a contest it was. Took a long, long time, wasn't it? Trost, I think, losing out there just because of fatigue more than anything else. They were out there for 2.5 hours, something like that. Litvinenko, the world #1 this year, the Poland, taking the bronze behind the Russian gold and the Italian silver. And Pelsite and Beitia, the champion 2 years ago, both over 194 as well. So was Kasprishka. It was a good contest. So Lupu, Josvik, poised to go through Ukraine, Poland and Russia. And then from the first semi, it was a Swiss, a Russian, and a very young but massively talented Icelander going through to that 800 final.
And their confirmation of those 6 finalists for Sunday afternoon. Buchel, the fastest of those, not that times matter, but Henrik Stottir, the Icelander we just referred to there, safely through, and Bazdreva there with a personal best in securing her qualification. Shame no Jenny Meadows in the final for Great Britain. Well, welcome back to Prague, where you join us just in time for the victory ceremony for the 60 meters hurdles women from yesterday, Friday. And it features 2 medals for Great Britain. Bronze for Sarita Solomon in a time of 7:93, a personal best. Terrific performance by her. UK indoor champion from a few weeks ago. Missed a place in the Commonwealth Games final by just 1,000th of a second, so this in some way making up for that disappointment in Glasgow last summer. And a first senior medal for Sarita Solomon. And one better, her teammate Lucy Hatton getting the silver medal, and my word, she was so delighted with that. Very humble in her interview afterwards, said she was just so pleased and honoured to be chosen. This again, her debut performance at a major championships for the British hurdler. 7.90, again a personal best, so 2 medals and 2 personal bests for Britain. But the gold medal, and by some distance in fact, going to the Belarusian Alina Talay, the in-form athlete for 2015, a national record in winning in 7.85. Terrific hurdler. World indoor bronze medalist in Istanbul 3 years ago. Came 4th in the World Juniors in 2008. Has been in good form. Victories in Vienna and Dusseldorf, Moscow, Vienna. In fact, unbeaten in 2015, and now gold in Prague. Silver 2 years ago in Gothenburg, becomes gold in Prague in 2015 for Alina Talay from Belarus. With 2 British athletes flanking her either side, silver and bronze. Great performances for the British pair.
Yes, 2/3 of what the French achieved in the men's 60-metre hurdles, but lovely smiles there from the 3 medalists. Each of them seemingly very, very satisfied as we go back now to the pole vault final. We're getting at the serious end of this. In 4th place at the moment is Lisek. This is first attempt at 580. Oh, he wriggles over that one. Hits it on the way up, but it stays up. And that from Lisek takes the lead. Renaud Lavillenie, by the way, came in at 575, cleared 5 first time, as we saw about 20 minutes ago, with a booming vault. But he's passing at 580 from what I can see here. And he'll have to clear 585 now. Lisek loving that one. He has cleared 590 this year. We know it's within his range, so to speak. Polish indoor record holder with 590 this winter. He's only cleared 582 outdoors. That was Sabera, I think.
Here is Lisek. So the pole's going well in the pole vault. Oh yes, that's a comfortable clearance as well. Lisek matching his teammate Sobera. So it's Poland in the 2 leading positions at the moment, with Lavillenie, as we heard, passing at this height, and will re-enter, we assume, at 585. Good vaulting.
Brilliant vaulting from the Polish pair, yes. Sobera we saw first, then Lisek. And of course, they will be encouraging each other. That camaraderie in between vaults is very important indeed. The women's shot put final already underway. Podolskaya then, 1684 in qualifying. Now, her first effort. 17.97, her lifetime best from earlier on this winter. This is her first senior international championship. She's fifth in the throwing order, the 24-year-old Russian indoor champion. Her only other major championship was as a junior 6 years ago when she was 7th in the European Junior Championships. 16.71, well, fairly modest opener. Well, we've had two semi-finals of the ladies 800. There are 3 such races in the men's competition, so it's only the first 2 to go through by right. Wilson Kipketer, I remember that in Paris. Bercy, 1:42.67 is world record. It's of course the European record for Denmark by the former Kenyan. There's the lineup for this first semi. Pavlicek, Konechny, Leroy, Repchik, Guy Learmonth of Great Britain, the UK champion, and Mark English of Ireland going in this first heat. First semi, I should say. Guy Learmonth, well coached by George Gandy, won his heat. Pretty impressive, Commonwealth Games finalist, so he understands these pressures. That's always a help. Pavlicek, just 22 years old, the Czech, he was 4th in their championship, so he's done well to make the team and then go through to the semi-final stage, but his quickest time ever is just 1:49.3 indoors. Karol Konechny of Poland. They always have a strong squad. He trains with Lewandowski. They share the same coach, who is one of the favourites. He goes in the 3rd heat, his teammate. In lane 3 outside him, the French champion, Brice Leroy. Twice French champion, actually, in 2013 and 2015. Only 3rd in his heat. But this is a fresh race, clean slate. Josef Repchik of Slovakia, 1:44 performer outdoors, although it was a few years ago now. That was the national record for them, both indoors and outdoors, Repchik, and again, very experienced, 7th of the last 2 European Outdoor Championships. There's Guy Learmonth, and how well he's developed under the tutelage of George Gandy and Henry Gray. The UK indoor champion this winter. He's only 22 years old, Learmonth. Has to wear odd socks for his races, Learmonth. Well, it's odd shoes today. And then Mark English on the outside. The European Championship bronze medalist last summer. He's a big, big talent, is English, for that Irish team. He's looked really good here. I thought he looked superb yesterday. He's only 21 years old. 1:44 man outdoors. He can look after himself. He's fresh too. He's only had a couple of races prior to these championships, Mark English, in that green of Ireland. But just the first 2 go through by right. There were 7 heats yesterday. It's been a well-attended event, but very tough equally to get through to the final from these 3 semi-finals. Learmonth trying to control things, moves onto the shoulder of the Frenchman, but English there is the man who gets the best position perhaps on the shoulder of Leroy, who leads. So it's Leroy, English in the green of Ireland. Learmonth boxed at the moment. Pavlicek on the outside. They go through 26.24. It's not quick, but a reasonable pace there. Although it's slowing a little bit at the moment. The pole at the back, Konechny, and Learmonth, well, pretty soon needs to get off that curb.
Yes, he's in an awkward position there, Learmonth, and will not want to get boxed in. English perfectly poised and looking pretty fresh. Had to work hard to get through to this qualification. Left it late from memory.
It hasn't been quick. 56.11, 30 seconds almost that lap, and it's going to be a kicker's race. That makes it a bit of a lottery. Leroy still leading down the outside. Konechny now. Learmonth at the back, and with a lot of bodies in front of him. Well, boxed, I should say, not right at the back. Repchik at the back, along with the Czech there, Pavlicek. And here they come to the bell this time. Still the Frenchman Leroy at the front. He's kept it slow, and he can kick off the front, and the rest have got a lot of work to do. Learmonth in third place at the moment. It is the first two who go through by right, remember. Learmonth's got some work to do. English looking strong going into this final bend on the shoulder of the Frenchman, who's got a couple of meters on the rest of them, but has he got the legs? Here they come now, they're all there, everybody with a chance. Well, 5 of the men away. Loire on the inside. English going to win this one, and coming through strongly, Learmonth at the line, takes it from English. And that's the two who go through by right. No fastest losers. Perfectly judged by Learmonth there. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Well, of course, George Gandy, the long-time coach up in Loughborough in the Midlands of England, Britain's big sports university, spent a fair bit of his career assisting with the coaching and the guidance of one Sebastian Coe's career. So Learmonth there comes from a stable, if you like, Chris, that has a massive library of knowledge.
Well, it does. Well, he's been reading in the library to stretch that metaphor a little bit further, because it was a perfect textbook finish, wasn't it, from Learmonth? We spent the first 3 laps wondering whether he might get boxed in. Not a bit of it. Found the space and judged the finish to perfection, Learmonth. And, well, in the absence of the likes of Andrew Assaji, Mukhtar Mohammed we saw disappointing in the heats yesterday, and Learmonth looking very good and good racecraft.
I was just going to say, he's handled himself really well there. You get so frustrated when you see athletes who don't do that. There's the standings after 3 events in the men's heptathlon. They almost managed to show us that first page.
I blinked and I missed it, I'm afraid.
I didn't have time to blink, crikey. But we will bring you up to speed with that, because they'll be out very soon for their 4th and final discipline of this first day, the high jump, the heptathletes. In fact, they are out. The bar is up. A few sighting jumps or warm-up jumps taking place.
Well, they're the card for the high jump. The next discipline in this grueling heptathlon.
Yes, it's still relatively open. Anybody can take this competition. But confirmation of the win there for Learmonth ahead of Mark English. It was very slow. Look at that. What, a quarter of a second covering the first 4 men, and half a second the first 5.
Great crowd in towards the end of the afternoon, early evening in Prague. The pole vault continues. 3rd attempt at 580 for Konstantinos Philippidis, the Greek, waiting for Ronaldo Villini to return, we assume, at 585. This, though, at 580, attempt number 3. This will be a season's best for the Greek, and approaching his lifetime best. Well, didn't get there, and the bar comes off with the foot, so Philippidis' competition is over. He takes his bow, and we are whittling them down. Poland going strong with Lisek and Sobera. Only a matter of time, though, surely, before Lavellini resumes control, going for his 4th consecutive European indoor title. So the final card there of Philippidis, as we move to the second semi-final, the second of 3, as we heard, in the men's 800 metres. And Irish interest again in this second event in the form of Declan Murray. There he is, goes in lane 1, the 23-year-old. 3rd at the National Collegiate Championships indoors in 2013, and 2nd at the Irish Indoor Championships a few weeks ago. Finished 2nd in his heat, did Declan Murray. Nick Jensen there with a very eye-catching haircut. Son of Heidi Jensen, who was a great rival of Kelly Holmes over 800 metres. Postogov, we saw his wife, Katarina, competing just a few minutes ago. This is Stepan, 28 years old. 800 meters bronze medalist at the Olympics and the Russian indoor champion. Timon Kuipers from the Netherlands, finalist in Sopot last year at the World Indoors. He's the Dutch indoor champion. And there is Kevin Lopez, one of the great talents, still only 24 years old. Spanish record holder, 7 times a Spanish champion indoors and out. And the 19-year-old from Sweden completing the lineup in lane 6 on the outside. World Junior bronze medalist last year in Eugene, Oregon. 1:46.56 his season's best. Just 2, remember, guaranteed to go through to the final on Sunday. And we've seen great performances from Guy Learmonth and Mark English in that first heat. Who will join them?
On your marks.
And away they go, 4 laps of the track. And Almagren, on paper, is the fastest. But it's the Dutchman Kuipers who comes across first.
Almgren.
Men's triple, one of 5 field finals on this third day of action in Prague. Nelson Avora is the name to watch out for. Teddy Tamgo there, just confirmation of the European record and the championship record holder, Teddy Tamgo. Part of the Eurosport team in Zurich, injured. There is the card with Nelson Avora, the only jumper comfortably over 17 meters so far this season. So the introductions coming up, the 6 jumps. We'll return to the introduction for the triple jump in just a moment. Meanwhile, the bar now at 5.85 in the pole vault.
And this is where even Lavillenie needs to concentrate hard. Gripic then. Cleared 5.75 first time. He's had 1 failure at 5.80. Here at 5.85, the Russian. Up, and away and over. Oh, yes. No wonder he's celebrating. He's got them all at it. Personal best there. It was 5.81 from earlier on this winter. 5.85. Well, he shared 3rd spot on the year's rankings with Robert Sabera. He now has 3rd spot all to himself behind Lavillenie and Lisek. That's a super vault from the World Student Games champion. Russian indoor champion. Took that World Student Games title back in 2009. And at the age of 28, he might be having one of his best days ever. Personal best for the Russian Gripic, 5.85 meters. And that could well be a medal-winning vault.
Nice little tap on the shoulder there from Lavillenie to say, well done, mate.
So Sabera. Cleared 5.80 first time. Had a little jiggle at 5.65, only cleared that 2nd time, and indeed at 5.45. Here he goes then. He's had 2 failures at 5.85. Here he is at 5.90. No. Well, that's him done, I think. Robert Sabera, his best 5.80 on the night. First time clearance at 5.75, 5.80, earn him 3rd place. Well, the 3rd and final semi-final of the men's 800 meters. There's the 6 athletes out there. Andreas Roth went out in his heat to the European Championships last year. He's only run a 400 prior to these championships, the Norwegian, but he has run 1:45.8 outdoors, 1:49 in qualifying. They were relatively slow and lumbering the 7 heats of the 800 meters yesterday. They shouldn't have taken too much out of men who have got at least 5 hard months of good winter training behind them. Paul Renaudie of France is semi-finalist at the last 2 European Outdoor Championships, 3rd in the French Championships. Again, 1:49.6 in his qualifying yesterday. Schembera, now what's in Robin Schembera, the German? He's a very, very useful athlete. Won his heat with Roth and Renaudie behind him. And they are in this same semi-final, can you believe? David Palacio of Spain, third fastest in the heats, and quicker than the winners of all the other heats. The Spaniard, he goes in 4. Lewandowski now goes in lane 5, perhaps one of the big favourites, the European champion back in 2010, the Polish champion this winter. Has good strength too. He's run 3:37 indoors for 1500 metres, despite being an 800-metre specialist. And then Jan van den Broek of Belgium, only 3rd in their championships, but he has form. He was 5th at the World Indoors in Istanbul back in 2012. So Learmonth and English through from the first semi-final for Great Britain and Ireland. Almgren of Sweden and Coopers of the Netherlands through from the second semi-final. 2 men of these 6 will join them in tomorrow's final. Well, the man on the inside, Roth of Norway, has gone off very quickly indeed. Moves off the curb, look, cuts right across, and that makes it awkward. He gets a bump and bangs him back onto the inside. What he wanted was to be not on the inside leading, but on the shoulder of the leader. He wanted to be where the Belgian Van den Broek is. So he's a reluctant leader, and he moves off the curb, almost lets Renaudie come through. 27.05 because he's slowed right down. Schembera in 3rd place. Palacio, the little Spaniard, moves into 4th now at the back, but moving up down the outside now is Lewandowski. But 27 seconds, outside 27 seconds is 200. Lewandowski, I think, probably thinking with all his experience, Chris, if it's going to be slow, I might as well be lumbering along at the front and control things.
Well, it's more cat and mouse, isn't it? More akin to the first of the 3 semi-finals we saw. And Lewandowski, who's a class apart, as the Spaniard, Palacio, comes surging through to sit on his shoulder.
56.95, it's very slow, only a click inside 57 seconds at 400 metres. Down the back straight now, Lewandowski beginning to wind it up. Palacio's gone with him, Gat's appearing though. Almost down, oh my word, and the Norwegian there gets clipped. And nearly goes down, does Roth, and that hasn't helped him at all, and he's down and out and back in 6th place. And as they kick hard there at 83.75 at 600 metres, Lewandowski in control. Van den Broek in 2nd place, quite a gap back to Palacio in 3rd. And there is the dominance of Lewandowski in a race of this nature, despite the little clatter as they approach the belt. Coming through strongly, Schembera. Is he going to clutch Van den Broek? I think he will. He's got that 1500-metre run of strength as Lewandowski canters home. It's going to be so tight. Oh. And I think Schembera out-dipping Van den Broek there, who put up a very, very stubborn resistance in those last 6 or 8 strides. Where he found that from, I do not know. But, yeah, very, very comfortable qualifying there for Lewandowski outside 150. And that looked soft, I have to say. Oof, it was Schembera that gave the Spaniard a big shove. Now, that was such a massive shove because Palacio was a tiny fella. He moved right about 6 feet. I don't think that was linked to it. And running on the infield there for Roth didn't help him at all, I'm afraid.
Well, Lewandowski a class apart. And, of course, the absence of his teammate, Adam Kuchot, opens it up really for Lewandowski. But that is so tight. That is definitely a photo finish for 2nd place between Schembera and Van den Broek.
Well, we will confirm that for you. They're still looking at the photo of that 800 3rd semi-final. And I can confirm for you that Schembera snatched 2nd place by 2/100ths of a second from Van den Broek. Jose Luis de Carlos will present the medals for the women's long jump final. What a super competition that was, just concluding an hour or so ago. Spanovic taking gold for Serbia. The bronze medal, well, it went to Florentina Marinciu of Romania. A European junior record. She set 2 in the competition. 6.79 was her best jump. And Marinciu there, all smiles. got a big future, this young lady, because to do that well at this level at such a tender age. Malinchuk, only 18 years old, reigning world youth champion at the long and triple jump. Morganada of Germany taking the silver medal, 6 meters 83, a season's best for her. It was her opening effort, but it wasn't good enough to win. She said, I can't describe my feelings. I've not realized what's happened yet. I'm very excited. My hands are shaking. This was immediately after the contest. She said, I knew that my chances against Spanovic were small, but this didn't stop me giving my best. I started with a great jump and a new season's best, but then everything went so quickly. I was told to take a risk, and I had to avoid attempts, and then I got tired. Spanovic, well, she's a very worthy champion. A new national record, 6 meters 98, the longest jump in Europe this year, to take gold for the World Championship medalist from Moscow. She says, this is a very emotional and special moment for me. My first major gold medal amongst the seniors. It's been quite a long time since I stood on the top of a rostrum, so I'll enjoy this moment. I keep focusing on 7 meters from now on, and I will be able to defend this title in 2 years' time and retain it, hopefully. And the championships will be held in my country. Ivana Spanovic of Serbia, the 24-year-old, is European indoor champion. She said, I didn't do anything special for this competition. Even my nails are one colour. Couldn't hold back the emotion.
Well, you rejoin us in Prague just in time for the lineup for the first of the track finals of this third day. It's the final of the women's 3,000 meters. And there, Charlotte Fullberg from Sweden, being introduced to the O2 Arena. 29 years old now, come through as a fastest qualifier. Now Emilia Goreczka, very impressive indeed so far in 2015, and indeed in winning her heat from Aldershot in Farnham district. Set a new personal best in that heat. Two-time European junior cross-country champion Sandra Eriksson there from Finland, also in the final. Steeplechase champion Laura Muir, now after a very disappointing 2014, has been in sparkling form so far in 2015, and she will be one to watch. The 21-year-old, really good so far in 2015. Laura Muir, very impressive in her heat as well. Kuzletic from Belarus as well will be there or thereabouts. There is Costa from the Netherlands, 22 years old. Jennifer Wendt, leading European born athlete at the World Junior Championships 4 years ago. Viola, the Italian, also a fastest qualifier. And Marusia Mishmash from Slovenia, 20 years old, steeplechase record holder back in her home country. So 12 athletes, and the names to look out for. We've missed Korobkina there in the middle of your screen in the red, white and blue of Russia. She is the leading European in 2015 in 8:47.61. So the main contenders surely Korobkina, the two British athletes Goretzka and Muir. Keep an eye on the clock. The fastest time in Europe this year, 8:47 from Korobkina. 15 laps of the track, and it's Kudzelic who hits the front in the early stages. The Belarusian Laura Muir, who's done well to put that disappointment of the Commonwealth Games and the Europeans behind her. Goretzka, terrific run in Edinburgh in the cross-country, Tim, in January, and very impressive too in the heats yesterday, Goretzka.
Yes, she was, although she looked like she was working pretty hard, I have to say, Amelia, but she's a tough cookie under the coaching of Mick Woods. She is a mature head and her shoulders. Laura Muir is a 1500-meter specialist. I think has got a very good chance of impressing here. Just needs to run the right tactical race. At the moment, it looks like they're moving at a reasonably healthy tempo.
So the two British athletes tucked in good position in the early stages. Should mention also that Kate Avery, sadly, was run out of this final yesterday on the opening day. Disappointing. Been training and working hard in New York. So just the two British representatives here in the final. Korobkina keeping out of trouble.
Kudzelic, of course, sorry Chris, I was going to say is strong as a steeplechaser. We'll want to make sure that each of these laps counts, rather than it being a slow, dawdling affair then with a big kick. Laura Muir looks like she's chomping the bit, doesn't she? She almost looks like she can't wait to get to the front. She's on the shoulder of the leader. She almost went to the front just now going through the line, and I think thought better of it. You don't want to get too involved in the racing early on in a 15-lap race. As we go back to the pole vault now, and Leszek, second attempt at 5:85 for him. Oh, that's lovely. Goes clear. Cleared 5:80 first time. Clears 5:85 second time. And he's easing up towards his personal best of 5:90. The poles sitting pretty at the moment. That's a super vault. There was room to spare there. He's got a big tattoo across his back, apparently, which says Alea Jacta Est, which is Latin for the die is cast. Well, not yet, it's not in this discipline. He's in second place, 5:85. Now La Villani. Only one vault so far. The bar has gone up to 5:90. Sabera, incidentally, has had two failures at 5:85 and is passing his third attempt. He'll have that at 5:90 as well. Kripic cleared up 5:85 at the first time of asking. This is only the second vault for La Villani. He's not in the lead at the moment because he's passed at 5:85 and two athletes cleared that. He lies in third place on countback. Sabera in fourth. But this is getting up there, isn't it? 6:02 this winter, 5:90, only a few inches less. Oh, he goes over it, he pops over it like it's 5:70 or something. 5:90 there, first time. And surely that is good enough for the win. The next height will be 5:95. It was a little untidy by his standards, but the momentum is there. The defending champion heading for his fourth straight indoor title at European level, surely. Has his own pole vault bed and short run up in his back garden of his house in Clermont-Ferrand. He says he can climb near a nearby tree when he has to adjust the crossbar. Well, he's going well. He's going very well, and his coach there having a little chat with him, Philippe Doncas.
Approaching 5 minutes into this 3,000 meters final, and it's as you were at the front with Kudzelic. Laura Muir just tracking, and it looks as though Goretzka has just moved slightly back, lying down in what, fifth place. 6th. But Laura Muir chomping at the bit last time we were there. Perfectly positioned there on the shoulder of the leader. And Korobkina lurking ominously. Korobkina, the Russian, there in 3rd place, just going through the motions. She's the one who set the benchmark, ran that 8:47 in Karlsruhe, you may remember, a few weeks ago, late January.
Yeah, the Russians are usually very astute racers. A 35.5 lap there. Korobkina on the inside there on that familiar red and blue strip for the Russians. She's a former European junior champion at 3,000. She's a 4:05 1,500 meter runner, so world class at that, and she's pretty useful at 5,000 as well. So she's the danger there, I think, with number 4 in her shorts to Laura Muir, who's doing everything right though at the moment. Just on the shoulder there of Kudzelic, who don't want to get boxed. Goreczka struggling 3rd from the back as we see that one. I thought she looked a little bit tired through the mid-race stage, and now it's beginning to show.
Costa just coming through to take over proceedings at the front. Maureen Costa from the Netherlands, just sharing the load. Kudzelic just moving backwards, and Laura Muir just will be keen to overtake her and maintain her position in 2nd place, which Laura Muir does. So tactically, strategically, some smart running from Laura Muir. She will know though that Korobkina, the lurking presence, is behind her, and Korobkina just coming up and reminding her that she's there as we enter the last 4 laps of this race.
32.7. Costa has kicked in pretty hard there, stretched them out. Look at the gaps beginning to appear, and even Laura Muir doesn't seem at the moment to be able to close down on the big Dutch athlete. She's a little ungainly, isn't she, compared with the most of them? She's a very tall figure, is Costa. I don't want to say lumbering, because she's covering the ground very effectively indeed. Her outdoor personal best for 3,000, get this, 9:23. Her best 1,500, 4:04, and she's beginning to open up a bit of a gap there, and I think Korobkina has recognised the danger, Chris.
Yes, she has, just covering it. Laura Muir, though, still in 2nd place. They're into the last 600 metres. Laura Muir, of course, we expect to, we hope, have something to provide as a 1,500 metre runner, a strong finish, but it's 3-4 are clear, and Korobkina just coming through Laura Muir on the inside to take the, as it stands, the silver medal position. Costa surely will not be able to keep this up. Laura Muir still in there. These 4 are away. The medals you sense are coming from these 4. What colour and what order? That is the question.
400 metres to run, 35.8. That was a 32.7 or something when Costa kicked in hard. Remember, she slowed down now, and these 4 away. Only 3 medals to be shared. Laura Muir just needs to hang on to that leading pair, because Kudzelic, the early leader, is just languishing around at the back there, causing a bit of a problem.
Well, Costa may have cooked her goose. It's perhaps too early to write her off, but she's looking as though she's labouring. Laura Muir having to go the long way round as they enter the final straight for the penultimate time. Laura Muir has to keep tabs and keep on the coattails of Costa, because Korobkina, with 200 to go, hits the front. Korobkina, the fastest in Europe this year, and Laura Muir, as things stand, is out of the medals in 4th place, but there's still some room to go on this final lap. Korobkina being tracked by Kudzelic, who made all the early running. Kudzelic hasn't given them up yet. Korobkina onto the home straight. Korobkina from Russia leads the way. Is there one last effort from Kudzelic? No, there isn't. Korobkina comes home, 8:47.62 the winning time. She takes gold. Costa comes home to take the bronze. Laura Muir, unfortunately, just out of the medals in 4th place. The cruelest of all. A hard run race there by Laura Muir. And it was Costa who took the bronze. Disappointment for Laura Muir, as Goreczka, who was in the early running, in the early few laps of that race. But it's Korobkina taking her form in the early stages of 2015 into these championships and coming away as European indoor champion.
And the time 8:47 is pretty useful. Not by the standards of the old days, but for these days it is. Here goes La Villani now. No, first failure for him of the day. He has the competition won, by the way. Gripic takes silver with that first time clearance at 5:85. Lishek, behind the Russian, takes the bronze with a second time clearance at 5:85, and that is La Villani at 6:04, going for a new world best. Indeed, just checking Vilani there going for a new championship best. He set the championship record himself in 2011, of course, in Paris, 6:03. But here's the closing stages of that 3,000 meters. Korobkina working very, very hard indeed to run 8:47 and take this gold. She stays clear of Kudzelic. Well done to Kudzelic, the Belarusian. She did the early work to make it pretty honest early on, and that took it out of the likes of Laura Muir, the 1,500 meter specialist. I think Muir, the quickest over 1,500 in the race. She's run 4 minutes exactly. Costa, brave running from the Dutch to take the bronze, and Muir, a fighting fourth for Britain.
Well, their confirmation of that result, the first track final of this third day, and gold going to Russia in the shape of Korobkina in a very, very keen time.
Well, we can take a look now. Just a reminder for those of you who've joined us recently, the women's long jump competition. What a fabulous contest it was. Marinku taking the bronze medal. She's only 18 years old, and that for her 6:79 meters. It's a new European junior record. A fabulous effort from the youngster. What a series she had. She set a European junior record with a 6:70 earlier in the competition with that second round jump. Mogwenara, well, her best coming in the very first round, the German. She set the standard with that opener, 6:83 meters. She didn't know it, but she would be caught, although it was a fabulous effort, and indeed good enough for the silver medal for Sostene Tarum Mogwenara. The season's best for her. Look at that, she couldn't believe it at the time. That was long, long ago. 5 more rounds were to come. But the day belonged, let's be perfectly honest, to a serious, super series of jumps from Ivana Spanovic. That 6:80 kept her in second place initially. But then in the third round, this was the big one from the Serb. 6:98 meters she came down at to set the longest jump by a European this year, overtaking Katarina Johnson-Thompson for the top of the European rankings, the Briton having jumped 6:93 a couple of weeks ago. And that was the gold medal sewn up. She didn't know it at the time, although she must have suspected. Her big target, having set that national record in round 3, was 7 meters, but it remained her best, and it was indeed gold for Serbia in that women's long jump. Confirmation of that win with a national record, a season's best, and a European junior record for the first 3. Road to Rouge consolation, a personal best for Romania in 4th place, 6:74. Well, there's plenty more to come from the O2 Arena here in Prague, the 400-meter finals and the men's 3,000.
Well, again, if you're just joining us for the first time on Eurosport in the European Indoor Championships in Prague, you're very welcome. Let's just bring you up to date with some action from earlier on. The final, a thrilling high jump final in the women, which saw none of the jumpers really capable of clearing 197 at the first attempt. And we'll take you through in reverse order. Bronze in the end went to the outstanding jumper of 2015, Kamila Lichvenko, who was a little bit short of her early season best. And that was the jump that secured bronze medal in the end. We then had a jump off between Alessia Trost, the Italian, and Maria Cucina, co-holder of the World Indoor Championship title from Sopot last year. Here is Trost. They were tied, inseparable, and that was Trost who took the initiative first time over at 197. The jump off went and started at 201. Then we went backwards and we had 3 failures at 199. And then Cucina, how would she respond? Well, this is how. and she was able to clinch the gold medal outright. Maria Kuchina, still only 22 years old. Same coach as Yelena Slezarenko, an Olympic champion. And so in the end, the jump off separated by Kuchina taking gold, Alessia Trost the silver, and Litvinenko the bronze for Poland.
Well, the women's 400 metres final coming up. There's an interested spectator. The European record held by Jarmila Kratochvilova. There she is. That record of hers set back in 1982. And it is time for the two-lap race for the ladies. There's the field. Seren Bundy-Davies tops the European rankings with 51.72, but she looked tired in her semi-final yesterday. They had the two races in the one day yesterday, heats and semis. And Bundy-Davies didn't really look that comfortable, having a second outing within a few hours of the first. So a tough lane draw for her, lane 2. Pegida of Ukraine looked probably the best in the semi-final. She goes in lane 6, but let's go from the inside outwards. That's Indira Terrero of Spain. The 29-year-old is used to run for Cuba. European bronze medalist last year, 2 thousandths ahead of Cristina Hurugu, who finished in 4th place in a season in which she was trying to have a quiet year. Hurugu, of course, the world champion. She was born in Havana, but has lived in Spain since 2010, so she gained citizenship in April last year. There is Seren Bundy-Davies. What a fabulous talent she's turned out to be this winter. Very unlucky not to be selected for the Commonwealth Games, but under the coaching of Stephen Ball, she's done fabulously well this winter to run 51.72 2 or 3 weeks back in Birmingham. But lane 2 is a tough call for the big Britain. Putalova of Slovakia goes in lane 3. 3-time Slovak indoor champion. Ran a national record for second in her semi-final, 52.99. Then in lane 4, Marie Gaillot of France. She led off the French relay team, which won gold in European Championships last year. Gaillot, 52.14 athlete this winter. Has a good lane draw there. Rosolova, perhaps my favourite, the Czech there, goes in lane 5. European silver in 2012 as a first-year 400-metre hurdler. She's a former world junior champion. At the long jump, Denisa Rosolova, massive roar from the home crowd there, and what a good crowd it is this evening on this penultimate night for the Czech athlete in 5. And this is the big threat. Natalia Pegida of Ukraine sat out a 2-year doping suspension between 2009 and 2011. She's in lane 6. Lots of experience at the age of 34. She was 5th in the World Indoor Championships, 200 back in 2004. She's got lots of speed and power. There's Pegida there in that blue in the outside. She always blasts off and commits early. Rosolova, I suspect, will just have to try and keep her within touch and hope that the Ukrainian starts treading water in the last 100, which is a fairly familiar sight. Can Bundy-Davies do anything from lane 2? It would take a meteoric improvement in form from the way she looked in the semi-finals yesterday, although she looked very good in the heats. Terrero in 1, Bundy-Davies in 2, Putalova 3, Gaillot 4, Rosolova in 5, Pegida 6. Well, away they head, and certainly Pegida has opened up a gap already on Rosolova. Extreme left of picture as usual. She's committed early. Bundy-Davies has gone off hard too from lane 2. She's got to try and get a good position when they break from lanes. Gaillot for France has run nice steady first 200 as she comes round into the straight. But Bundy-Davies has gone for it here. Pegida rocking from side to side there. She's so powerful. Bundy-Davies in 2nd place, has a good position. They've got to run wide round her on that 3rd bend. Down the back straight now. Terrero at the back of the field for Spain. Bundy-Davies moves wide off the curb. Pegida still holds the lead. Gaillot of France on the outside. Bundy-Davies running the shortest line. And again, they've got to come wide round the Briton. Has she got the legs here, though, off this final bend? Pegida kicks for the line, rocking from side to side. Bundy-Davies on the inside. Is she going to get a medal? Yes, she is. And it might be silver. Terrero, Spain, coming through very, very quickly there. Grabs a medal, but I think it might be bronze. Pegida took the race to them, and they couldn't reply. They couldn't respond. Nobody even got close to regaining the lead back off her. And she is the champion for Ukraine. Wow. Bundy-Davies came back almost from the dead. I thought she looked dreadful. She looked tired. She looked really tired yesterday in that semi-final. But that is a super performance from the Briton to grab a medal, and I think it might be silver. Let's wait and see. Just waiting for it to come up. It's going to come down to a photo. 51.96 for Pegida. Terrero has been given the silver. 52.63 to the Britain's bronze. 52.64. Make your own minds up about this. Rossalova having a clash there down the home straight. Couldn't get back to the medalists. She was all over the place. Now what? In fact, it's Putilova. Rossalova right at the back. Putilova there went to the back of several bodies. It was nobody's fault but her own. There was just a wall of people in front of her. Terrero and Gaio and Pegida. Well, I've got real mixed feelings about that, as I know many of you watching here in the Eurosport will have too.
Well, on a positive note, what a performance by Seren Bundy Davis. Fantastic, fantastic performance. Pegida there with the flag and the title.
Well, while all that was going on, Renaud Lavillenie was attempting a new championship best in the pole vault, and it turned out rather well for him as we see the result of that 400.
Here he goes then. New championship record attempt. Lavillenie, can he do it? Second attempt, yes he can! Oh my word! Is there no end to this man's talents? The records keep tumbling. The medals keep being earned by this Frenchman. His CV gets ever longer. A fourth European title, European indoor title. And another championship record to boot.
Well, and of course the highest vault in the world this year. Only Sergei Bubka has gone higher in the European theatre. I'm just looking at the world all-time list. Only Bubka and Steve Hooker have gone higher. So that's the, but for his own world record, Lavillenie 6.16, it would be the fourth highest vault ever. Well, the women's shot final has been going on. We'll try and bring you the best of that competition. We've had to select inevitably with 5 field events final through this penultimate day evening session, and unfortunately we weren't able to bring you anything of that shot live, but we'll certainly bring you at least the results of the women's shot. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the O2 Arena in Prague, where proceedings continue at a lively pace in this third of 4 days at these European Indoor Athletics Championships. What a good championships it's turning out to be. The men's 400 meters final to come, and the men's 3,000 meters final as well.
Well, as we said, it's been a busy session of field events in particular. And apologies again for not being able to bring you constant coverage of the shot put competition, but we will bring you the result there. That is Martin, Anita Martin from Hungary, bronze medalist at the European Championships in Zurich, taking the title there with 19 meters 23, an extraordinary performance. And a gold medal winning performance. And there, the final card for you. A national record, in fact, for the Hungarian. And it was silver for Liancu, the form athlete, the form thrower in 2015, taking silver, having to settle for silver. Those two well clear of the Bulgarian Mavrodieva, who had to settle for bronze.
Well, Sergei Bubka has already set a championship record of 6 meters and 4 centimeters at the second time of asking, and he is now attempting a new world record of 6.17.
Lavillenie, I think you said Sergei Bubka. Freudian slip. You did. but he's in such exalted company.
It's been a long 2 or 3 days. 6.17 is the mark that Lavillenie is going for. Here he goes. Surely 1 centimeter improvement. That's Bubka-esque. No, It's certainly with his ability, he looks so good, and he's had a very, very economical series of vaults through this contest. Came in at 575, cleared that first time, came in then at 590, cleared that first time, and then 604 at the second time. That's only his 5th vault of the competition. Dear oh dear. Probably just warming into it. 2 attempts to come.
Well, let's just dip into the final of the triple jump. Again, one of the 5 field finals taking progress. This started about 40 minutes or so ago. Sonov, the Bulgarian, lying down in 6th place. Nelson Avora, I can tell you, is very much the pre-event favourite. He is in the lead.
There you can see La Villenie, La Villenie, with his coach watching on. What more you can do than a football coach has to sit and watch his team lose. If an athlete gets things wrong in one of the field events, at least you can have a chat and make adjustments and really feel as though you're contributing to what is to come. Philippe Doncas, I should say, is the coach of Renaud Lavillenie. It used to be Damien Inocencio. Of course, Sergei Bubka, and I do mean the Ukrainian, the former Soviet Union athlete, set 35 world records in his time. I think it was 16 outdoor and 15 indoor. No, 16 indoor. I think it was one more indoor than outdoor. And Lavillenie, well, on the shoulders of a giant like that, how many records can you be expected to set? To be perfectly honest, there's not the same opportunities, and he has proven himself to be a match for Bubka, but to get anywhere near 3, 4, 5 world records he has won right now would be astonishing if he were to retire with that. Here he goes, second attempt at 6 meters 17. It's monstrous. The pole is so long. The plant, the drive, look at the power. Oh, no. I was gonna say it was close. He went through the motions, and for a moment it looked half convincing. But actually it gives that pole quite a clatter. Let's see where his centre of gravity is. Your centre of gravity, by the way, is just sort of behind your tummy button, behind your navel. No, it wasn't there, not on that occasion.
It was competitive though, wasn't it? To use the running parlance, it wasn't a million miles away. It was the knee on the downward movement.
Well, he looked sort of kind of optimistic there, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he knows that it's there.
Well, time to join the victory ceremony for the women's 3,000 meters that took place a little while ago. The presentation party, Antti Farakovsky, will do the honours. Well, it was a hard-fought race. Sadly, Laura Muir just edged out by this lady. Maureen Costa from the Netherlands, who came good in the latter stages of the race, and then in the end just held on for bronze. "22 years old, and clearly delighted and rather emotional with her bronze medal. So well done to Maureen Costa. The silver went to the athlete who made much of the early running, Svetlana Kudzelic. So silver to Belarus. But gold in the end, as perhaps predicted, went to Korobkina, the Russian, who came into this race as the leading performer in Europe in 2015 and almost matched that time to the second. Just was able to be patient, waited, and then with the last 250 meters to go, just pounced and came home with the gold medal, and makes up for her disappointments of the European Championships outdoors last year in Zurich, when she came fourth in the 5,000 meters. Gold then to Korobkina from Russia. Smiles all round for Jelena Korobkina. The joint photograph and being asked to turn every which way. I mean, Costa in particular, you think, delighted there with her bronze medal. Personal best for Kudzelic as well with the silver. Such a tiny figure, isn't she, Korobkina? Very slight figure, but a huge performance.
Well, Olsen going in this heptathlon high jump, their fourth and final discipline of this first day. Olsen, after 3 events down, in 11th place, and he likes that. It's 1.95 meters. And Olsen going well. The Pole, the Swede. Got pole vaulting on my mind. 5-time Swedish indoor champion. He's a 2:03 jumper, so he's well capable of that and more. Third time of asking now for Matthias Brugger, who is in 6th place after 3 disciplines. It's 51 points behind Helchelet. Abela leads, by the way, with a 64-point gap over Shkrenyov. Oh, that was beautiful. Brugger, the German. Sort of thing you play to your grandchildren, that quality of jump. He's a 2:05 jumper. There's more to come from him as well. Stay with us. Renaud Lavillenie then. 1 attempt left at 6.17 meters. And he's right for it. He looked like he believes it after that second failure. It wasn't that close, but he knows a lot more than us, infinitely more than me. I know many of you back at home will be pole vault enthusiasts and enjoying this. But you're born with talent like this, surely. He's head and shoulders, almost literally, above the rest of the world's vaulters at the moment. Even better than Sergei Bubka on his day. Can he be better than himself from last year? Fire, 6.17. No. But he's entertained this crowd majestically. 3 good attempts at a new world record. And Don Goss, the coach there, being congratulated by some of the other competitors in this pole vault final. It is at last a European indoor gold for Renaud Lavillenie, his 4th, on top of the 3 earned so far. He's had to wait a long, long time through the last couple of hours as lesser mortals dipped out of the competition.
Well, it's quite a roll call, isn't it? It's almost a European tour for Renaud Lavillenie. If you look at his European indoor record, Turin 2009, gold. Paris 2011, gold. Gothenburg 2013, gold, and now, as you can see there, confirmation, 2015 Prague gold. It's quite an extraordinary record. Next final on the track, the men's, and well, home interest aplenty here in the shape of Pavel Mazlak. Surely the hottest favourite for gold for the host nation here. He's the poster boy of these games. His face adorns all the billboards on the stadium and throughout the centre of Prague. And there he is in lane 5. The defending champion, the world indoor champion, the European lead athlete, goes in lane 5. Let's take you through the lineup in full for this final of the 400 meters. Yevhen Hutsal goes on the inside for Ukraine, age 24, here as a fastest qualifier. 2 times Ukrainian indoor champion. Lane 3, or lane 2 I should say, Matteo Galvan from Italy, was second in his heat. Mediterranean Games champion in 2013. Lukas Kravchuk from Poland goes in lane 3, part of the European Championship winning relay team. Bronze medalists in Zurich last summer. Rafael Omelko, also from Poland, 1 year his senior, 26 years old, 4th at the World Student Games a couple of years ago. He goes in lane 4, and listen to the roar for this man. Let's just listen to the crowd. Well, there we are, what a reception, and there is his face. He's been beaming out from all the buildings in the centre of Prague for the last week or so. He goes in lane 5, surely his title to lose. And completing the lineup, strong opposition from Dylan Bourlet, the youngest of the Bourlet brothers, Jonathan and Kevin, his brothers. What an athletic family they are, from Belgium. Bourlet second in the heats. And Pavel Mazlak asking for quiet. Look out for lane 5. 2 laps of the track. Pavel Mazlak surely now just 2 laps away from retaining his title. The lineup again, Hutsal in 1, Galvan, the Italian, in 2, Kravchuk, Poland, 3, Omelko, Poland, 4, Mazlak there, the red-hot favourite from the Czech Republic, in 5, Bourlet, the youngest of the brothers, in lane 6.
Set.
And away they go, and let's keep an eye on the top of your screen there. Second from left, Mazlak, who's already eating into the ground of Dylan Bourlet. Look at this, he's absolutely lightning quick on the first lap, through the first 100 metres, like a knife through butter, and the rest are chasing. Mazlak comes across in the lead. Bourlet trying his hardest as they hit the bell. 200 metres in under 21 seconds, and Mazlak bringing this stadium alive. The O2 Arena rising to a man, woman and child to greet, surely, the defending champion to retain his title. Pavel Mazlak is scorching this track in Prague. Keep an eye on the clock. The defending champion leaving everybody else in his wake. They're trailing behind. Bourlet trying to get home for silver, but Mazlak 45.33 the winning time, just outside his best in 2015. It was never in doubt. The world indoor champion, the defending champion, retains his title in 2015.
And that's, if it's confirmed, 45.33, a new championship record from Mazlak. Plavko of Poland it was, who ran 45.39 in Vienna back in 2002. What a championships that was in the Austrian capital. But Mazlak, well, it just blew him away. 20.99 at 200 metres. You don't see sub 21 too often in indoor 400 metre running at the halfway stage. And the rest of them, well, it was a separate race altogether, wasn't it? This young man was chasing the gold and chasing the clock. He got the gold, he got the championship record. Personal best for Bourlet in second place, 46.25. Personal best for Milko in third place, 46.26, but Maslach winning that by very nearly a full second.
That's extraordinary, isn't it, in 400-meter terms? And we should also make the point, it makes up for the disappointment of missing the European Championships in Zurich last summer. He was injured at the end of May, having won the world indoor title, and surely he would have been a real contender to get that outdoor title. But no doubt about it, retains the indoor title in his home city, and the crowd absolutely loved it. Just a shame, on another note, that Rosalova couldn't make it a 400 double with the women. She was disappointing for me in the women's 400 meters final.
No, but he retains his title. He'll send this massive crowd home very happy indeed, will the 24-year-old. And what next for him? He's so strong, and he's only going to grow in strength. His coach's 45th birthday today. Dalibor Kupka, what kind of a gift is that for his coach? It far outweighs any monetary or material gift that he could possibly give back.
Well, their confirmation, look at that card. Maslach with the honours and the championship record, and then 3 straight personal bests for Borlée, Amelko and Kravchuk. A high-quality field, but look at the gap between first and second. That was the winning margin. He was a class apart and delivered as expected.
Boy, oh boy, what a run from Pavel Maslach. He never gave him a sniff. Half those guys probably couldn't run 20.99 for 200 indoors. Never mind about go through in 20.99 and put together a pretty tasty second lap. Well, a special evening for the spectators who have paid their money and turned up to this glorious O2 Arena, to the edge of the city of Prague. And the hosts have their gold.
Well, we've seen some high-quality athletics here, and a warm embrace between Renaud Lavillenie and his brother Valentin. There we are, confirmation of that championship record. So we've seen championship records in the pole vault and the 400 meters in the last hour here in Prague. And what a surprise. No surprise at all to see the name of Renaud Lavillenie at the top of that card. His 4th consecutive European indoor title, stretching back to Turin in 2009.
Well, the men's triple jump final continues, and I'll try and bring you up to speed with that as we see Torrijos, who is 7th in the jumping order. He's a 17-meter jumper. Now, let's have a look. That's not a bad effort from Torrijos. Oh dear, bad takeoff though. He opened with 16.33, then 16.93, then 16.15, then 16.79, and that one, 5th round effort from Torrijos, 17.04. It's a national record for the Spaniard, and he wasn't even on the board. That was a 17.30 jump.
Well, without being too, it's almost criminal, isn't it, Tim, to give that much away on a jump like that.
He's got 1 round left. That was round 5. He's got 1 round left in which to make amends, so to speak, although he does hold gold medal position. Nelson Evora in 2nd place with 16.98 for Portugal. That was in the 3rd round. Here he goes now, Evora. That's not a bad brace of jumps, is it? Shame about the first 2, 16.98 and then 16.97. He's got to find 7 centimeters, and then he would win on countback, or at least he'd lead on countback.
Former Olympic champion, of course, from Beijing in 2008, Nelson Evora. Oh, yes. There it is. The class coming through in the end. Just a little check in the stride on takeoff, but look at that, hung in the air for an age.
I was going to say, I thought it might have been no jump. How close was it? Oh, because he did chop his stride quite badly there, lost a lot of momentum, and yet still a big jump.
Still waiting for the confirmation to come through. 17:15, there we are, leaps literally into the lead and the gold medal position. The former Olympic champion is now on his way to becoming European indoor champion.
Well, 17:15, he tops the European rankings with 17:19. Nobody else this winter has gone as far as that. Terio 17:03 was in second place in the rankings. He's now with 17:04 in second place on the rankings. Here is Dimitrov. He's down in 8th place. That's not a great series from him, is it? Not yet, anyway. No, only just over 16 meters. He's a 16:50 jumper. His best today, 16:36, cleared in the 4th round. Well, Dimitrov there with his final effort, going up to what, I don't know, 16:20, something like that, 16:12. Funny, isn't it? You see an athlete generate good speed and work so hard, and yet there's a meter down on what Evora produced just a few minutes ago.
So working up from reverse order, Dmitry Platnitsky lying in 7th place, looking to improve on 16:43 in his second round jump. That looks to be pretty consistent jumping, actually. He's had a couple of jumps in the 16:40s, but that I don't think will disturb Sorokin in 6th place. (16:40). It is indeed consistent jumping, and that completes the day for Platnitsky, who does indeed finish in 7th place, 7th out of the 8th in this triple jump final.
Sonov now then, in 5th place, 16:75 in the 5th round, getting better. Only 21 years old. Jumped a windy 16:85 outdoors. He is, I'm not sure. That looks all right. What is it, 16? 3rd place held by a player with 16:91. I reckon that's about 16:60, something like that. He's in 5th place with 16:75. I don't think he's improved on that, frankly. He's looking rather optimistically. It's with too much hope. No, do you see that? He was wrestling to stop himself tipping forward through the middle phase. And you lose a lot of distance like that. Technically, not great. 6 out of 10. Yeah. 16:75, though, for him was a great return in the 5th round. It was a new personal best. But 5th place for him is as good as it'll get. Well, over to the track for the last final of this 3rd day at these European Indoor Championships. It's the men's 3,000 meters, 15 laps of the track. 2 Britons going in this 3,000 meters final, which closes this 3rd day. And Great Britain, with Mo Farah having taken a brace of titles in 2009, 2011. John Mayotte gold in Valencia, I think it was, back in 1998. Those are the most recent wins for Great Britain. Ian Stewart, of course, you can go back to many years ago. It's a big field, 12 athletes. Richard Ringer, the German champion, goes in there. Useful athlete, 7:46 he's run this year. Hurst of Great Britain, Phil Hurst, second in the UK Championships. The 24-year-old has had a very good winter indeed. Nikolaev, the Russian champion, 12th in this race 4 years ago in Madrid. Goes on the inside there. Outdoors, his personal best is only 7:54. He's run a lot quicker indoors, 7:47 now. Then Phil Hurst there for Great Britain to right of picture, coached by Martin Crowe. Henrik Ingebrigtsen, former European champion at 1,500 meters back in 2012 in Helsinki. He's got to be running on tired legs. He ran the heat of this race yesterday. Then he's run a 1,500 meters heat. And now he's running the 3,000 metres final in Ingebrigtsen. It's winter training for him, I guess. Ali Kaya could be the real danger man here, the former Kenyan in the colours of Turkey. Went out and ran 7:45, crazily fast, the 20-year-old in his heat yesterday. Quite unnecessary when the qualifying was relatively comfortable. Mekal is the Spaniard there, a former Moroccan. 3:36 outdoors. Could be a danger if it's slowish. Carvalho likewise, a Frenchman who's very quick over 1,500 metres. 7:48 personal season's best rather in his heat. Richard Ringer, already mentioned, the German, surprise winner of the 3,000 at the European Team Championships last year. Hannes goes for Belgium, third in his heat in a personal best of 7:47, but that might be play a factor. It was a very fast second heat yesterday as opposed to the first heat, which wasn't nearly as taxing, as draining. Florian Orth of Germany also here, and Orth, well, a 7:49 performer, second in the German 1,500 and 3,000 metres championships. Lukasz Parzynski, a 29-year-old Polish record holder and 5-times champion, has run 7:49. That was last year. There's my I don't want to say dark horse, Lee Emanuel. He's had a fabulous win to the UK champions, does most of his racing in the USA, so many British viewers won't know him, but he's a name to watch and a late bloomer at the age of 30. He recently ran 3:35 indoors for 1,500 metres. That's fabulously quick, world class, and then a very quick 2 miles in the USA. I saw him run 8:21 on the 31st of January in New York. So he has all the speed and all the strength you could require, Emmanuel, to take this title. Jesus Hispana at the age of 36, we saw there on the outside, might be past his best by now. He was European champion at 5,000 in 2006, beating Mo Farah. So that's the field, 12 men, 15 laps of the track. Will anybody take it out hard? Ali Kaya likes to run hard, likes to go fast. At the moment, he's right at the back. He did this yesterday, came charging through and then just blitzed it and ran extravagantly quickly. The Spaniards, well, this looks like a plan, doesn't it? A team plan. Mekal and España loping along there in front, 1 and 2, and keeping it pretty slow at the moment. Phil Hurst towards the back of the field, in fact dead last at the moment as they go through after 1 lap in about 33 seconds. It is slow, that's about 8:15 pace.
It is slow. Kaya at the front, but not in the same ridiculous way he was in the heats yesterday. So maybe he's learned something from that particular.
But what he's done, Chris, is exactly the same as yesterday. He started right at the back and then in the space of 1 lap has surged to the front. And he's winding it up now, and he obviously plans to make this quick, and they're all thinking, oh no, here we go, this is going to be hard work. The Turk is off the front and charging, 63 seconds there. That was about 30 seconds, that second lap. And it's a sort of mixed feeling you get when somebody goes to the front and starts running hard from early on. You think, good, this is going to be an honest, hard distance race, but another part of you thinks, oh crikey, this is going to hurt. I know the feeling all too well.
Lee Emanuel looking pretty comfortable in 3rd place in these early stages, and a good bet for a medal is my tip.
Well, the Mekal, the former Moroccan, in 2nd place behind in the colours of Spain, behind the former Kenyan in the colours of Turkey. Lee Emanuel in 3rd place is capable of holding this form. He has run 7:46, and that was during that 2 miles in New York.
Triple jump. Oprea next to go. Lying in 3rd place. That his final attempt, his final jump. Trying to improve on a best of 16:91, the Romanian. Lying in the bronze medal position in this final round. It is not an improvement. 16:73, so 16:91 there in that second round remains his best jump and keeps him in bronze medal position.
Well, Ali Kaya continues to lead with Mekal of Spain in 2nd place. The Briton in 3rd place and looking quite comfortable at the moment. Lee Emanuel, coached by Joe Franklin. He's a media graduate from Sheffield Hallam University, city that Sebastian Coe was born in and used to run for Hallamsham Harriers. And that's a big gap back to the main pack. 8 athletes behind that leading quartet.
Torrijos then, the Spaniard, in the silver medal position, guaranteed at least silver. A little chop of the stride there on takeoff, and that I don't think will be an improvement on his earlier jump.
Kaya then, still from Mekal, moving up now, and coming through there is Richard Ringer, I think, for Germany, into 3rd place. Lee Emanuel in 4th. Probably best to let the others do the work, chasing, trying to close on Kaya. And brave running this from Ringer, I have to say, the German champion. 7:46, his lifetime best. And he's closed up pretty quickly on Kaya there, and Lee Emanuel in his wake.
Nelson Avora then, the champion-elect, with his final effort. 17:15 there, his 5th jump, propelling him into the gold medal position. Can he find something extra? Oh yes, that's good as well. That is good, and he's come good in the end as Nelson Avora, the Portuguese, the former Olympic champion, showing his class and jumping his way to another title. 17:15 he recorded with his 5th effort, momentarily displaced by the Spaniard, who jumped 17:04 with his 5th effort before then. But this is good jumping there from Nelson Avora. Never won a major European title despite being Olympic champion in Beijing. Former European junior champion at both long jump and triple jump, and that is an improvement, isn't it? He saved the best till last. 17:21, Nelson Avora wins his 1st European senior title.
Well, they've just gone through 2,000 meters. They went through 1,000 in 2:34 in this 3,000 meters final for the men. Ali Kaya continues to lead, and he still has the gap. I think he's kicked again, and Lee Emanuel in 2nd place has gone away from Ringer and Ingebrigtsen. Mekal is hurting now, and Lee Emanuel is very isolated there in 2nd place. Ingebrigtsen in 3rd place goes through with 4 laps to run. Kaya probably 20 meters ahead of Lee Emanuel, and Ingebrigtsen is chasing. He's trying to close on the Briton. Emanuel's got to dig deep here and maintain that gap, because Ingebrigtsen has a mighty fine finish. Kaya's got to be tired, but he's pushing on hard. 5:05 at 2,000. It's very, very quick indeed. I mean, he's on schedule for 2:37. Ridiculously quick through 2,000. Surely he'll slow now. 30 seconds that lap. He's maintaining it. He's sort of kicked with about 5 laps to go. And Kaya leads. It's a quite bizarre race, isn't it? A Kenyan-born athlete running for Turkey in the European Championships. Lee Emanuel is hurting. The Briton, relatively inexperienced in international championship racing, but this is just guts now for Lee Emanuel. And the gap to Ingebrigtsen hasn't closed. That's the good news for British fans as they go through with 2 laps to run. Now, what can Lee Emanuel do for his last 400 meters? About 6:41 as he goes through. He's got about 2.5 seconds on Ingebrigtsen. Is it closing? Kaya is going away. There's no doubting that. This transferee from Kenya, he was so desperate to get away from Rieti after the European Junior Championships in 2013 and get back to Kenya when he was rookie. It didn't even stick around to get his medal. And for me, that says a lot. Into the back straight for Ali Kaya. It has been a fabulous run from the 20-year-old. His lifetime best, 7:43. Surely he's going to obliterate that here. As Lee Emanuel, little glance over his shoulder there nervously from Lee Emanuel. Kaya into the home straight, nobody else yet on the 2nd bend. And surely Lee Emanuel's safe now, or is he? Ingebrigtsen is charging, his 3rd race of the weekend. Kaya wins it, 7:38.43. Lee Emanuel comes home to take a brilliant silver for Britain. Ingebrigtsen, where has he found the legs from to do that? The Spanner 4th, Ringer 5th, Mekal 6th, Parzhaninski 7th, Ort 8th. The times will be pretty impressive. But Ali Kaya, 7:38 from the front. He's operating on a totally different level. And still there are people out there who say that there is no genetic advantage to being born in East Africa. I find that sort of stance quite farcical, because they haven't yet found the reason physiologically. Doesn't mean it's the evidence isn't screaming you in the face. As they say in the movies, do you love me? Yes. Can you prove it? Absolutely not. Intangible, maybe. But there is something about these East Africans that makes them almost superhuman compared with non-East Africans, let's say. Because that is a superb performance, Chris. I mean, 7:38 on your own. And nobody else, well, in the home straight almost as he crossed the line.
Well, it's extraordinary, isn't it? From one so young, 20 years old, what a talent. But let's also congratulate Lee Emanuel, who came under some severe pressure there in the closing stages from Ingebrigtsen, who had to dig really deep. What a busy weekend for him, where he found the energy to even contemplate challenging for a silver medal after the weekend he's had. But well done to Lee Emanuel.
Well, this young Turk won the European Junior 5,000 and 10,000 metre double in Rieti back in 2013. Today he becomes European champion indoors at 3,000 metres, 7:38, a new championship record. Another medal for Great Britain though in this discipline. Mo Farah winning brace of golds in 2009, 2011, but a super silver for Lee Emanuel there today, ahead of the bronze medalist Ingebrigtsen of Norway. Well, Phil Hurst having a good run there, 7:51, no shame in that. 9th place for the Britain in that 3,000 metres final. Let's take a look now at what's coming up tomorrow. Of course, we'll be covering all the action from this O2 Arena in Prague. Good day, Chris. Finals just about all the way.
Yes, it starts pretty early, 11:30 Central European time, 10:30 if you're watching in the UK. Women's 800 metres final there, and the men's. The culmination, the climax of the grueling heptathlon of the 1,000 metres. That'll sort the men from the boys. The women's pole vault as well. The final of the women's 1,500 metres.
And of course the semi-finals and finals of the men's and women's 60 metres. Britain hoping for medals in both those disciplines. And that final day, and after a superb weekend in Prague, will culminate with the women's 4x400 metres relay and the men's 4x400 metres relay. Those always raise the house. And with Maslak on the final leg carrying the baton, hopefully for the hosts in the 4x4.
Well, for me, performance of the day so far, Pavel Maslak. Huge expectation, but huge delivery as well.
Some way to close the championship on this third day. Championship records on the 400 by Maslak and the 3,000 by Kaya.